Over documents related to an alleged plane incident with Brad Pitt in 2016. Of course, we know all about that. Those documents reportedly contained information that detailed an alleged abusive incident involving Brad and the children. She filed for divorce 6 days after the incident. She filed a Freedom of Information Act request in 2022 using the name Jane Doe, asking to obtain the documents. Pitt was allegedly verbally and physically abusive with one of the children in the incident, and he has denied the allegations. The FBI and the Department of Child and Family Services, meanwhile, closed its investigation with no charges against Brad Pitt. A source said being stuck in the past is not anything that Angie wants, and said that she wants to focus on her family, work, and the future. These are all the things that make her happy. They divorced in 2019, but are still locked in other legal battles, including a dispute involving their French winery as well.
How long have they been going on with this crap in one form or another? It's got to be like 6-7 years, right?
It was 2016.
Okay.
Is when that occurred. So
Jesus.
It's coming up on, 10 years. I mean, it's almost 9 years
10
in,
years,
so,
man.
10 years.
Like
10 years, man. 10.
So there's still the stuff that's a decade of legal battles, but she's holding fast.
Yeah.
She was not having it at all. This was sad to see, and we have some clips to play of actor John Amos. He was 84 years old. He passed away. Featured in an impressive number of projects with roles in Good Times, which we're playing the theme song to, of course. Roots, and of course, Coming to America.
Come on.
Man.
Die Hard
Mr.
2.
McDowell, he was in Die Hard 2. He actually...
Beastmaster.
He died... Oh, my God, I forgot about Beastmaster.
I just watched that not that long ago. I mean, it's so terrible, but it's so
You'd
great.
be surprised how hard it is to find audio from his performance in Beastmaster online.
Right.
So he actually died on August 21st.
Oh, what?
He
That's
died
weird.
It says natural causes, but the news was not disclosed until yesterday. So he was great. His son, Casey Amos, said that he was a man with the kindest heart and a heart of gold, and he was loved the world over. Many fans consider him their TV father. He lived a good life. His legacy will live on in his outstanding works in television and film as an actor. He said, he was my dad, my best friend, and my hero. Thank you for your prayers and support at this time. His final appearance was in the movie Me Time from 2022. And for TV, it was Suits L.A. He was nominated for an Emmy for his role in Roots as well. Do we have a couple clips to play?
Yeah, we have a clip from Roots.
All right, Casey, if you'll cue that up. Here we go.
Maybe this time I'll make it to the Calvert plantation. Maybe I will find Fanta. Oh, but it don't matter. Seems like since they take me from my home and bring me to this place, the only time I get to be free is when I run away. I tell you, Fiddler, sometimes it seems like being alone and being free, you're all the same for a slave. You don't be free. You be dead.
So, for those of you who weren't old enough to remember Roots and its impact, it was huge when that was on TV.
You were talking like 60 shares, like virtually the entire country was watching.
Yes, exactly. Let's play a clip. This is him in Die Hard 2.
Jeez, McClane, you all right? You want a medic?
McClane, what the hell you think you're doing out there? I'm playing John Wayne? How'd you like to spend the rest of the night in his cell?
Lorenzo, shut the f*** up and do something useful. Go seal up the street.
Hey, you can't talk to me like that.
Oh, no, Carmine? Sergeant, get this bureaucrat out of Mr. McClane's face, now.
With pleasure, sir.
I forgot about that role. And then, of course, Mr. McDowell.
I mean, you hear how intense he is in those two parts.
Yeah.
And he's so funny in Coming to America.
Here we go.
Look, me and the McDonald's people, we got this little misunderstanding. See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. Huh? They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs. I see they got the Big Mac. I got the Big Mick. We both got 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions. But they use a sesame seed bun. My buns have no seeds.
I love him at his house when the king and the queen come over.
He puts her legs up real quick in the recliner.
I love it, man.
He has a moment where he is super proud of the little train thing that he has. And it's like an Eddie Murphy's character, who's obviously, royalty, like the way that he sort of pays respect to that family is nice, like the way that they interact. He's like, yeah, okay, I like your little train. That's very cool.
Yeah.
He's doing subtle comedic things.
Yeah.
So like when he goes, you got the thing with the McDonald's people, and he goes, like a little.
It's sad news, but what a great legacy he leaves behind. So John Amos, 84 years old. Let's see what else we have here for you. Joaquin Phoenix made a lot of ears perk up when he referred to his longtime fiancée, Rooney Mara, as his wife.
What?
During an appearance on the September 29th episode of Talk Easy with Sam Fragoso podcast, Phoenix raised some eyebrows when talking about his 2020 Oscars acceptance speech, saying that he ultimately found the inspiration for the speech while he was, quote, I was talking with my mom and my wife. The two actors have been together for over a decade, meeting in 2012 on the set of Her. They've been publicly dating since 2017 and have been engaged since 2019. No comment from reps for either Mara or Phoenix, by the way. So he's either brave or stupid. Ex-star, NFL star Antonio Brown decided to take on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and their rabid, massive fan bases at the same time. Without directly quoting his post, I'll say that Brown suggested in a very tasteless way that perhaps Travis should consider dating a black woman, closing the post with, that bro brainwashed. It's assumed that the tweet was in response to what is seen as Kelce's underwhelming performance through the first couple of games of the NFL season. The response from Swiftie should be pretty epic, but Kelce's response on the field was to having his best game of the season thus far, and the Chiefs are undefeated at this point.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Travis Kelce's last girlfriend black?
I don't know.
I think she was.
No idea.
Marissa's giving a thumbs up.
By the way, he is here now, Travis Kelce, to ask you, are you smarter than a celebrity? Amazon Prime Video dropped the trailer for the new Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity show, which features Kelce as the host. This is the football player's first game show hosting gig, and he is definitely giving it everything he's got. He hypes up the crowd, and he sings and dances. The show, a spiritual successor to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, will have contestants try their best to answer questions that are for elementary school kids. If they get stuck, they can cheat off of the celebrities Kelce shares. We're going to play a clip of him, by the way. This season should include Nikki Glazer, Natasha Leggero, Nicole Byer, Ron Funches, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Chad Ochocinco, Garcelle Beauvais.
Yeah.
The
actress, yeah.
I don't know. Lala Kent, Sophia Stallone, and Lily Singh as well. So here's a clip from that. Here we go.
A game show where people can win ridiculous money just by answering questions about stuff we all learned back in elementary school.
I don't know anything about geography.
Me neither.
The new show arrives on October 16th, if you want to check that out. There was another personality who passed away as well. Frank Fritz. I was bummed out to see this.
Yeah.
Longtime co-host of American Pickers died. He was the shorter, bald guy, or he had the beard. He had been ill ever since suffering a stroke 2 years ago. He passed away Monday night at a hospice facility in Davenport, Iowa. According to his friend, she said that she was at his bedside, as was Mike Wolfe, who starred with Fritz for more than a decade on the History Channel program.
That wasn't the word for a while. Those guys were estranged, and that they kind of had a falling out.
Yes,
and then he had the stroke.
Yeah. So that was he was 60, by the way. Mike said, "I've known Frank for more than half my life. What you've seen on TV has always been what I have seen: a dreamer who was just as sensitive as he was funny." The same off camera as he was on, Frank had a way of reaching the hearts of so many by just being himself. He said, I love you, buddy, and I will miss you so much. That was sad.
And the dude was just 60.
Yeah, 60 years old, man. That's too bad. I still, from time to time, will pop that on. And it's easy just to, if you're doing something around the house and have it rolling.
That's one of the ones I can handle. There are a whole bunch of those that I can't.
Yes.
But that one I enjoyed.
They do a little bit of fake back and forth, but not ridiculous.
It's like Pawn Stars.
Yeah, exactly.
When they get into the actual meat of what you're there for, it's fine. It's the BS around it that makes you want to turn away.
The worst, in my opinion, of that, even though they do pretty cool stuff, was that fish tank show.
Oh my God, that effing thing drove me crazy.
I can't believe that he came in and said that thing.
The hell? What happened to my sandwich? Wah, wah, wah. I didn't know it was his sandwich. He put his name on it. Shut up! Do the fish tanks. That's what we're here for.
Stick with the fish tanks, please. So, Julianne Hough clapped back at fans.
Bravo.
Stop it. Who had some criticisms about her recent Instagram post.
I actually just saw a couple of her posts maybe yesterday and then last week, and I thought she's going off the rails.
Well, I follow her as well. She's been doing some goofy, funny stuff. She's just been kind of goofing around, but
playfully sexy.
And she's very thin. She's a very thin person, so she can look too skinny to some people.
And the thing is she's done, bikini shots, and she wears all those dance costumes. You can see everything. She looks skinnier than she normally does.
Do you think? I also think there's been a little bit because watching her on, I watched the first 2 Dancing with the Stars. It's been a little bit of face stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Been a little bit of filler stuff.
Yeah,
a little bit, which is too bad. I love her.
She's a beautiful woman.
I think she's a goddess.
Beautiful woman.
So she posted a video of her on Instagram with the caption, "Sunny Spa Day." And in the clip, she sports a bikini and black hat before donning a red light therapy mask and then does a cold plunge and jumps around on a trampoline.
Oh, but you can see at the bottom of the video, it says directed by Britney Spears.
Well, no, it reminded me, not as bad, but it reminded me a little bit. So the one that Preston's talking about was one that I did see, but the other one I saw, she was in the kitchen cooking in a bathing suit.
Agreed. I liked that one.
Oh, God, I thought it was weird.
I liked that one. Her response more than covered any criticisms that people had, including those who called her video weird. She said, "I don't usually address comments like this, but I'm going to say a few things about this video. This black hat is a protective cap from the heat as to not burn my hair. It is called a banya hat made from wool, felt or sheepskin. The red light therapy is incredible for you and might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone while you're in the sauna. As for the trampoline, she shared that this was, quote, a new try for me today at my friend's house. This is their routine. Sauna, cold plunge, jump. It's for your lymphatic system, which promotes lymphatic drainage, which helps protect the body from disease and infection. Being in a bikini, she said, is the best outfit for these activities, especially in this order. She also commented on her general health, giving an overview of how improved her mental and physical health is. She said, "My body has never been healthier. I was full of inflammation in my 20s and had a marker for an autoimmune that I addressed and committed to over a year and a half ago." She said, "I've frozen my eggs over the last few years, which also shifts the body fluctuation, and I've never been healthier or happier from the inside out. Grief, loss, sadness, and fear also get stored in the body, and we hold on to that in different ways. I made it a huge priority to accept, express, process, and release a lot of emotions over the years. For those of you genuinely concerned because this is unusual for you to see, I understand that what you don't understand feels unfamiliar and sometimes scary. I'm going to continue feeling safe within myself, regardless of the outpouring of your comments, and have fun with life, which can be really heavy and challenging. So why not be playful and laugh and enjoy the journey instead of taking everything so seriously?" So although she's quite on Britney level, Kath, I think
No. She is not on Britney level, but her videos for sure look as though they're heading that way.
We had her in the studio. She was delightful. She was promoting Footloose, and she was great.
I love her. So I think she's doing all right. Hey, I was happy to see this. Daniel Day-Lewis has been spotted back on a film set, marking a potential return to acting. The 67-year-old Oscar winner was seen in Manchester, England, filming for a new movie called Avalon alongside Sean Bean. Details about his role are still unknown, and the movie is not listed on his IMDb profile. He had announced his retirement from acting in 2017, but later reports hinted that he was still involved in Hollywood, possibly working on producing projects.
Well, I heard he's bringing the character of Bill the Butcher to the new Fast and Furious film, Preston.
He should.
Yeah.
It's unclear if Avalon is part of these efforts.
I mean, listen, he is such a good actor that he makes a movie that I don't give a two craps about, like, worth watching. And I'm talking about Phantom Thread, for instance.
Right.
Like,
Was it good?
That was his last movie.
Yes.
It was?
Yeah.
It's about the...
He made it good.
Yeah, the fashion industry. And I didn't watch it because the subject didn't really speak to me, but it's him.
Yeah.
I mean, God, he is so
He
good.
is riveting.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes of this. A spinoff of Amazon Prime Video's popular Reacher show is coming. This one is set to star Maria Sten, who plays the private investigator Frances Neagley in the show.
Oh, she's great.
When Neagley learns that a close friend from her past has been killed in a suspicious manner, she'll do everything in her power to get justice using everything that she's learned from Jack Reacher, according to the show's synopsis.
You know what I loved about the collective of people he, sort of his quasi-family of people that are in his life were assassins as well or whatever. All those characters resonated as real. Like when the women were fighting assassins, they weren't doing over the top, picking up 300-pound guys and throwing them through the walls.
Exactly.
They were using their smarts to beat them, and I love that.
Yep. She said, "I'm beyond thrilled to further explore the world of Neagley and her somewhat mysterious background." The show doesn't have an official title yet. Season 3 of Reacher, meanwhile, is currently in production.
How about All in the Neagley?
What is it?
All in the Neagley.
All in the Neagley. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm stoked that they're doing another season of Jack Reacher. It is so good. The BBC series Sherlock, which was a hit on both sides of the Atlantic, could be making a comeback. The series, starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the legendary detective and Martin Freeman as his sidekick, Dr. John Watson, ran for 4 seasons. It wrapped up in 2017. While the stars have all been busy with various projects, producer Sue Virtue says that a comeback is not out of the question. Sue said, "We love that show, and there is a future for it. One day, maybe, if everyone wants to do it. I've still got the set in storage somewhere. It's just getting everybody aligned. It's getting the actors to want to do it." Both lead actors have been busy. Of course, Freeman appeared in the Wakanda Marvel movies as well as Miller's Girl earlier this year, and Cumberbatch played Doctor Strange in multiple Marvel movies and is starring in the Netflix series Eric earlier this year, or starred in it in Eric.
Eric?
Yep, that's exactly it.
I'd still like to see another Doctor Strange movie where he actually is the star of the movie. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness had too much going on in it.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Did you watch any of Sherlock?
I did.
Is it good?
I enjoyed it. It's very well done. I didn't get to see as much as I would have liked, but they had a great chemistry, and you need that.
Yeah, I had thought about taking that on and watching it, so maybe I'll give it a spin sometime. Yesterday, director Kevin Williamson and star Nev Campbell revealed on Instagram that Scream 7 will hit theaters February 27th next year.
I think it's okay at this point to stop screaming.
So it's Campbell had written, it's going to be a killer 2026. The new show follows Scream 6 from 2023, which starred Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, and Courtney Cox. Barrera was fired from the franchise in November, and Ortega dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. Campbell, who plays Sidney Prescott in the first 5 films, confirmed her return for Scream 7, and Courtney Cox is also expected to reprise her role as Gail Weathers. So.
The first one was fun, and then it dropped off precipitously after that.
I really love the first 2, but Steve, I guess with franchises like these, like they've done it with Halloween, and they just keep making money, right?
Yeah.
So it just seems like Scream is sort of reaching that point where they're just going to keep making the movies because they do well enough at the box office.
Look at Saw 10.
Exactly.
It was out last year.
Right.
Yeah. Saw 10.
Yep. All right, and then one last story. This is pretty wild. I watched this trailer this morning. Billy Crystal is a child therapist with a secret and a new patient who just might know what that secret is in the upcoming Apple TV Plus series Before. Crystal stars along with Judith Light, Rosie Perez, and Jacoby Jupe in the story of a therapist and a young patient who begin to grow close, and the closer they get, the more the child seems to have insight into a dark part of the therapist's past. And it's a creepy
It's
trailer.
intense. It looks very Shyamalanian.
You're not used to seeing Billy Crystal
No.
in a role like
I
that.
haven't seen him in forever. Like,
Crystal?
Yeah.
So if you think about like that movie that was Mr. Saturday Night, there was drama to that.
I loved that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But and to my mind, has he done anything where he's acted this intense, this seriously? I don't think so.
Not that I know of, yeah. I mean, he can do it because in some of the comedies, they have comedic turns where he'll turn dark, and you're like, okay, he can pull that off if he needs to. So the series hits Apple TV Plus Friday, October 25th. The first 2 episodes followed by weekly releases, and that will go through November 15th, by the way. All right, I think we got a couple of clips that we can play for you this morning. Early this year, Rita Ora starred in the latest installment of The Descendants, and now she's a full-time judge on The Masked Singer. And here, the British pop star debates whether she could identify her Disney co-stars if they were disguised.
100%. So obviously, Brandy, I would notice her in a heartbeat because she has such a distinctive tone. Kylie, who plays my daughter, I think she could do pretty well in disguising herself. China, I think I would figure out because I've seen the Descendant movies so much. So, I think I would know her voice. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting show. I mean, doing the U.S. Masked Singer has been crazy. The people that are behind those masks are huge stars. And I'm just kind of like, how is this real life?
I want to see you naked.
I'm not sure they're huge stars, but some of them are.
The new episode of Masked Singer airs tonight. That's on Fox. Here's our next clip. Unsolved Mysteries originally ran from 1987 to 2010, and then Netflix revived the series in 2020. In this clip, creator Terry Dunn Muir talks about how she stumbled into a genre that has dominated so much of her life.
I've been a mystery fan from the time I was very young. I just absorbed every Nancy Drew book I possibly could, and then graduated into Agatha Christie. And so it's interesting that I didn't intentionally set out to have mysteries become my life and my career, but it did happen, and I feel so lucky to take that passion and be able to put it into a series.
Yeah, big whoop, no one cares.
Unsolved Mysteries season 17 is streaming on Netflix.
I love that show.
If you'd like to see it. Robert Stack used to be the host.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, that is what I have in the entertainment report for you this morning. We have several things that are happening. First and foremost, secret text word. Chance to win a 4-pack of tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House on Main Street, Manayunk. Text the word secret to 39333 right now to get in on the winning. We are also going to have a few guests on the show. We have Sean Kanan, who is from Cobra Kai. He plays Mike Barnes, this great character. He's checking in with his wife because they wrote a book together. And then we have Catherine Ott-Lovell, the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Visitors Center, Rocky Fest.
Yes.
It's been officially announced. She's going to get in and get the details. Yeah. So,
Ding, ding.
We want to hear about all that. And Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike!
Is he here yet?
He should be. He's always on time.
Excellent. Dr. Mike is going to pop in, and we're going to get our flu shots, and we're going to talk all things. And there he is. He's, he's waving. He's being frantic. He's being Dr. Mike. We'll get him in here in just a second. We'll do that, and we'll talk and have a good time on this Wednesday morning. Stay with us. We'll return shortly. Starting to see a little daylight. That's a wonderful thing. Stay put.
Preston and Steve movie. Yeah, and it came in, it made this weird sound, and I just end up killing my mom and eating her. And
okay,
I just want her to live through that.
So it's the absolute antithesis.
The love of bats is incorrect then.
All right. How?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who said that.
It was when you were in Austin for your third time. It says, why do you keep coming back? And you said, I love Austin. I actually looked into buying a place there. Just like the vibe. It's creative. Everyone is super cool. I love the music. And you have bats. I want to move there and buy a bat farm.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I lied to that city. That was an open lie.
Christy, did you come up with that information? That's our intern, Christy, by the way. She tried to go see your show last night, but got stuck in traffic and couldn't make it. She went all the way out there to Bethlehem.
I'm sorry.
And couldn't make it. And you got a show in Albany tonight?
I have Albany tonight and then Brigada tomorrow.
Wow, dude.
DC. Yeah, I'm on, I think it's like at 35 or 40 cities right now.
I mean, so now besides the flight and you got that stuff all handled, are you a good traveler generally?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm pretty easygoing. Okay. I mean, I have like a tour bus, so I don't have to fly a lot.
You have a tour bus, okay.
Yeah, and people think it's like wild, but it's really not. Like we go to like Whole Foods, and then like I'm trying not to like drink on this tour. I drank on the last tour, and it was just the wheels came off horrendously. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Do you self-impose? Because my wife will sometimes do that. Just like, and not she's not an alcoholic or anything. She just I just want to take a month or two and just take a break.
I'll go hard for like 5 years, and then I'll take like a month off. Yeah, and it really helps. Sure. really
5
helps.
years, 1 month, 5 years, 1 month.
It's all about the balance. You know what I mean?
Great to see you, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for being
cheers,
here.
guys.
That is Nick Swartz.
But you did get your first job from an internship, right?
I did. My
K-San?
At
No.
K-San in San
Okay, it was.
Francisco, yeah.
As a jock?
Well, even when I was a jock, I was only part-time.
Oh,
So I
didn't they
worked
change
in the-
format?
Yeah, and then in my last year, it switched to country and western, which was just ghastly.
And what was your name again for that?
Will Robertson. I couldn't give. I was so.
You just couldn't.
My first name is William, but none of the kids in my family ever went by their first name. My middle name is Pierre, and we've always gone by our middle names in my family for whatever bizarre reason. And so I said, I can't. This is such a vile thing they've done. I can't give them my name, but I got to keep my paltry weekend air shift. So, but the records were much shorter. It was hard to go to the bathroom.
Yes,
they're 3-minute records.
Country songs are short.
And divorces and cheating and trains and drinking and prison.
Trains.
Cheating on trains.
Yeah. I mean, some themes that go through. Now I actually got to like a lot of the music too, but it was here comes another 5 songs in country stereo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Country stereo.
That was the tagline?
Country
well,
stereo.
something like that. And then they had this horrible jingles. The spirit of the West is alive and well, and living in Contra Costa County, and living in Marin County, and living in Sonoma County.
Name all the counties.
They name
in the
all
area?
the counties.
Oh my God!
We all got us a story there, Presbo.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
And now decades, one station.
Yeah.
Rest is
I've only
history.
been at 2 stations.
That's wild.
So Will Robertson and Kenny, what was his name?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Kenny Knight.
Kenny Knight.
Yeah, but when I worked at a country station I did weekends. It was down the hall, and they needed a part-timer, and I did whatever I could to be in the radio business. I was Kenny Big Rig Rider.
Kenny Big Rig Rider.
Big Rig Rider.
Yeah.
We got to get us a morning show with Will Robertson and Kenny Big Rig Rider.
That's a good team up.
Hell
right there.
yeah.
I like
And
it.
then I went by Don Imus.
He knows that kills me when he does that.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
Is he still
kills
even
me.
on?
He retired.
Okay.
He retired. He's a legend, bona fide legend, but towards the end there, it's
little
was
crazy?
total unintelligible. Honest in the morning. I got what we were coming on. Really hard.
Who's wore those cowboy hats, too, when I see him on
Yes.
TV? I mean,
With the headphones. Cowboy hat.
did?
Yeah, on,
Yes.
on the side.
No,
Oh,
they hung underneath.
Were they under? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
Action News says when they arrived, they saw 2 officers from the 24th District attempting to arrest an unruly teenager. While that was happening, another person showed up and tried to antagonize the person being arrested. That person was told several times by police to back up, but instead they pulled out a cell phone and got in between the officers to yell at the guy being arrested. After a supervisor arrived on the scene and tried to get the person to step away, the man tried to provoke officers into a fight.
That's what you were talking about.
I was
Casey,
just telling you
came
guys.
on, yeah.
This guy is such an a-hole. He's
Pretty
yelling
much.
at the cops. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
But he's getting as close to them
He's-
as possible.
The cops aren't touching him
Right,
at all.
Yeah.
And he is the one that's walking towards them.
He's the aggressor.
Oh my!
Yeah.
And
he got arrested.
And
Yeah.
he's in the middle of the street, and the cops are saying, "You got to get out of the street." He's like, "No, I don't." Like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're in the middle of the street, you effing a-hole.
Well, technically, that's jaywalking, so you can be cited right there for that.
Well, he got arrested for being an idiot anyway.
He did, yeah. So then he used profanity to tell a supervisor showed up on the scene as well. They called for backup, and he told the supervisor that he was really ugly.
Yeah.
You're really ugly.
Oh,
You're
he was ugly.
If you don't watch
He
out,
says-
I'm going to grab your wrist.
So he says, "Who you wife? Damn." You guys are so mean. Whatever.
He's going to squeeze it really hard, though.
I'm moving on.
Okay, move on.
Who you wife? I need to focus on
All
this
right, focus.
because I don't
She's
know
a
if this-
newswoman.
I don't know if this is English.
And we're distracting
I'm
her.
sorry.
All right.
Who you wife? Damn, I forgot he ain't got one. Damn, he said.
That was well performed.
Okay,
Who
thank
you
you.
wife?
Who you wife?
Damn.
Damn. Don't
Yeah.
forget the damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Who you wife?
So
Damn.
Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott.
Excuse me, who you wife?
Damn.
Damn. You ain't got no wife? Damn.
It's a different way.
John Houseman performed.
You wife. Damn. You ain't got no wife. Damn.
Well done. You know what? It's like I was there.
Exactly.
It's like I was there on the scene. The Harry Potter film franchise is indelibly linked to Alan Rickman.
Yes.
And his portrayal of Professor Severus Snape. But Rickman wasn't as enamored with the role as fans were and still are, a new trove of letters reveals.
I think it sucks a bag of beans. Mr. Potter, this role sucks a big bag of Harry D. If he didn't like it or had issues with it, it certainly didn't show up on screen. He was excellent, and to his emotional, spoiler alert, ending in the series.
Yeah.
He was a critical part of it.
Yep.
Many of you are surely wondering why I have summoned you at this hour.
His deliveries.
Just so good.
It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter,
I just love the way he drags out those words, man.
they will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore, any person found to have knowledge of these events who fails to come forward will be treated as equally guilty.
It's so good.
Fantastic. Wow. It's so sad that he's
Will
gone.
be called to my office, where I shall spank you with your pantaloons down around your ankle. I shall do so liberally and with great care. There will be a modicum of probing. Digits will be involved.
If that doesn't scare you straight, I don't know what
I might
would.
even break out the wand. At which point you will receive an enema unlike any you have ever received before. In fact, I will pay to have the owl watch the hurricane.
Oh my God. He's a cuck. The owl's a cuck.
Absolutely.
Hedwig?
Yeah.
That's his
And then, when it is all done, I shall pleasure myself into the sorting hat.
Oh my God.
Not the sorting hat.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
He's gone off the deep end.
That's when Rickman became bored with the character.
Right.
He decided needed to add a little flavor to it.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Because of his pentameter, I have had this ongoing debate as to whether or not he says yippee-ki-yay, I'll say truck, mudda truck or mudda trucka.
And that haunts you?
Well, I mean, I've talked about this ever since the movie came out. Does he put an ER at the end of...
I don't think
Bless
he does.
me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yes.
I'm worried about Alan Rickman's delivery of the role Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Trucker. Do you have any sins to tell me about, son?
No. I just thought I'd talk about
I just
this.
wanted to seek your counsel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think there's an ER. I think it's
Me
The
neither.
question you just raised is easily one of the most imbecilic things I've ever heard. I want you to come to my office, where I shall lock the door and spank your buttocks.
A man was spotted riding on the hood of a car barreling down the express lane of I-95 in Florida late Sunday. It appeared to be talking on the phone while he was doing it.
Yes, that's with anchovies and pepperoni, please.
Yeah, he's on the hood of a car going about 70 miles an hour. The driver in the other car that was filming this says the words, "What the actual F?" We're in mid-highway.
He's one hand holding on to the crease of the hood, and the other hand holding the phone to his ear.
A female passenger in the car seemingly could not believe what her eyes were seeing. According to the video, she said, "What is that? Oh, my God." The driver, Daniel Maida, who was filming this,
told the Miami News-Times that the man on the hood was somehow hanging on to the Mercedes-Benz C300 with one hand and appeared to be talking on the phone with his other hand. A woman behind the wheel.
Now, baby, I know I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. But I think we can work this out.
Kathy, so we're headed into the fall, and this is something that we do every year on our program to get you ready and us ready as well for the flu season. Our good friend, Dr. Mike Sirigliano is in our studio today.
I already did an exam when I was here already.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Who
going
did you do an
around
exam?
Who do you think?
You?
Yes.
My girl Kathy, and people walked in on us.
Wait, really? Wow.
Yeah.
And he was like, we are in a meeting, in a public workplace.
Right. Was it an exam or was it I need to see
nothing
some of that.
sensitive.
Yeah, okay, all right.
No, but now I need to go down to his office today.
Oh, man.
Yes. Well, he follows protocol. I remember when you felt on my wife in the office. I was right there.
Yeah, but you were watching.
I was watching.
It was okay.
It was okay because you were doing the mammogram.
Yeah.
He plays with my wife's boobs all the time.
Yeah, I would.
All the yeah. Well, Dr. Mike, it is good to see you. Obviously, you're here for the flu shot.
Yes.
What's the story this year as far as what we're keeping an eye on for the flu?
Well, so things are kind of coming back after the pandemic.
Right.
And so we're seeing a couple of trends. A lot of people don't know this. Whooping cough is making a big comeback.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't gotten your Tdap, your tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis shot, you want to make sure you get that. That's every 10 years. And certainly if you're someone who is pregnant or you're going to be around someone who just had a baby, they're not going to let you near that child unless you've had the Tdap.
How does whooping cough manifest?
It's a upper respiratory infection, and it can cause this characteristic cough,
Like a hacking cough.
That is really that's where it gets its name.
Yeah.
Whooping cough.
Yeah, we have audio actually of somebody with whooping cough. Hang on a second here.
Wait, let me go all the way back.
Yep, here we go. This is, you'll hear.
That's it.
One more here.
Aw.
Yeah.
Hang on, you did it right when that kid was doing it. This is that noise. That's where it gets its name, right?
Right.
Did I step on a whoop?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, and it can be very serious in the very young and the very elderly. So make sure you do that. We're talking about the flu shot. Now, there was a milestone last year. 200 children died from the flu. Now, we talk about COVID and we talk about a lot of other things. But look, if you're a parent like I am, one child that dies from something that can be prevented by getting a flu shot, come on. Now, I don't want to get into the whole, it's almost be taken on a religious thing. You're either into it or you're not.
That's fine, yeah.
The vaccines save lives. Bottom line.
All right.
Bottom line.
Each year they try to predict which one, which variant is going to be, the one that takes hold. And when you give a flu shot, do they cover a few different variants, or is it just one?
This year it's going to be a trivalent.
Okay.
I believe, and basically that covers 3 different strains. And
that
look,
means it'll be the 4th strain.
Well, they try to base it on what happened in the southern hemisphere because they're getting over their winter, and we're just starting to get into ours. So you base it on what happened there, and they come up with the best guess. Now, everything on the planet wants to survive. Even if you're a virus, you want to have little viruses, and you want to propagate and stay on the planet, so you mutate. That's what happens with COVID. And so there's all these new variants and things, and we can talk about that as well, since we're covering all viruses. So
the flu shot is such a standard. Now, like example, when you hit a certain age, and I'm of that age, it's wise to get it. I started getting it, and I didn't used to get it really that frequently, was because of the Camp Out for Hunger. And I want to be in my best health, at least be, up to speed if I'm meeting people and shaking hands and doing all that.
Right.
So it's something that I think I'm kind of hopefully paying forward.
Well, the guidelines
Does that make sense, or am I an idiot?
No, absolutely. And there's data that if you get it year after year, as you get older, you're more protected. So it's very, very important. Now, a couple of things, because people will say, you know what? I got COVID, even though I got the COVID, the shot. It doesn't prevent you getting sick. sick, it prevents you from getting severe illness and ending up in an intensive care unit. And so now, with the fact that people with COVID, at least, if you've had COVID or you got the vaccine or both, it's a bad cold. So if you get COVID and you're sicker, I'll give you something called Paxlovid.
Right.
If not, it's a bad cold, and I tell you to do chicken soup. By the way, there's data on chicken soup.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been studied. Studied.
10 million Jewish mothers can't be wrong.
Well, listen, there's something in chicken soup, and it works.
Who wants to be first?
I'll go.
All right. Casey, can you give me some filler shot music?
You want the shot music?
For a moment, but I mean something underneath all of this.
Okay.
if you
What
don't mind.
you said you have a special shot for Steve. Why is that real?
How old are you? Yeah, he gets the high potency shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's 65. Also, he's my dear friend, and I want him to be potent. Oh yeah,
not impotent.
All right, so
he is no.
the
No, he ain't impotent.
the process
I kind of am, Preston.
No.
is beginning. Dr. Mike is taking the syringe.
Now, there's a proper way
Oh my God, that is pretty. That's a long needle.
It is kind of a long needle,
Yeah.
but it's crazy, super thin.
I can't watch that.
Kathy, I'm known as a
What?
prick, so don't. All right, okay, hold on.
All right.
Now, what we do is we go to the deltoid triangle. Here.
Oh, the old deltoid triangle.
A lot of
This
ships
way,
along.
over here.
Okay, all right.
All right, so the deltoid triangle is right about there. You don't want to go in the joint because then you can cause a bursitis, and that happens from time to time.
From getting a shot, you
yes,
can cause
if they go
bursitis?
up into the shoulder joint.
And one time when I was a kid, I got a penicillin shot, and this nurse gave it to me, and it was in my butt, but she got it somewhere muscularly in that. The next day, I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed.
Oh, wow. Get out.
It was like it had done some damage to my muscle. It was crazy. My parents thought it was hilarious. By the way, I was writhing on the floor in pain.
There's no better shot giver than Dr. Mike Sorigliano. I mean,
You're done.
Say
I'm
it.
done.
Is it in yet?
Is it in?
I hear that all the time.
Oh, sorry.
You're going to get yourself into trouble, Mike.
That's not nice. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and then he blames us, but it's actually him.
It's totally him.
Hold on.
There we go.
So,
Rico Suave.
you want to make... You?
He hears that name.
I have patients
By
now.
the
They-
way,
they watch the video.
He had. I won't say exactly what's going on, but I am integral to your Rico Suave plans.
Oh, you are.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
you are.
right.
You're my
I good?
protector. Yes, we're good.
What are you guys talking about?
Have you ever had Gerardo in?
No.
You have to have him in, and then
Gerardo
have
is-
me here.
Let's just say, if something kicks in Mike's life, I step in. It's documented to prevent a Rico Suave scenario.
Right. I don't want Rico getting my. my
Steve! Oh, you
stuff.
have Steve on hire to kill
Yeah,
whoever
no,
sleeps with your
he's,
wife.
he keeps an
I
eye
take
on
control
things.
of things.
Oh my
Yes,
God, he's
make
like his-
sure Rico doesn't do.
We
stuff.
call it the RS protocol.
Yes.
He's like a living shovel buddy.
Exactly.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Nick is up next.
All right.
By the way, Gerardo ended up becoming a music industry executive.
Is that right?
Yeah. I forgot for which record label, but back in the day, he was actually more. He was more successful doing that than a performer.
Hey,
You gotta get him in.
Dr.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm going to throw an actual medical question
Yes.
besides the Rico Suave protocol
Yes.
at you. Is so there's this, and somebody asked me because they know I have vitiligo about this medication that they're pushing now. That is apparently for people. So I think if you're a dark complected person, perhaps if you're Indian or whatever, you have. Vitiligo, it might be something more prominent that you may, it may be a little bit more of an issue for you. I'm a splotchy Irish guy, so it works out fine. But the truth of the matter is that you see the commercials for this medicine. Are you familiar with it?
I am a little bit. I'm not a dermatologist, but
Right.
I can tell you that there are treatments for vitiligo, and in African Americans, it can be very,
Very prominent. It's very
problematic.
yeah. Though you have the model. I'm forgetting her name.
I don't know her name.
Yeah, but she's gorgeous, and,
Right.
and she celebrates.
All right, Nick's getting his.
Nick, you're all tense. What's the matter with you?
You're like pushing me around.
You are kind of. You're being very forceful with him, Mike.
Get over here.
See, you are pushing. You're pushing and pulling.
Nick, you're a wigwam, and
oh my
Why
God.
is your shirt on?
You're too tense.
No, because I have to get to the deltoid triangle.
I mean, it would be nice if you
There's
would've-
two things that bother me, all right?
Say again.
Getting your blood pressure checked over a cardigan sweater, that is incorrect.
Right.
You do it on flash.
cardigan
All
sweater.
right? And you have to have...
Obviously, Cosby's been in the office.
And you have to have what, Dr. Mike?
No, and you have to have access to this correct area or else you start causing trouble.
So in the
Now, put this arm down, relax.
Okay. All right.
But there's an odd tension over there.
It's a sexual tension.
No, he's you know what? He's married now.
I know,
That's
yes.
what it is.
But, no one probes us like you do.
Well...
He knows it,
God.
and he's
It's all
proud of
love.
it, yeah.
Now, wait a minute.
That finger has seen the inside of more
Oh, my
of us
God.
than any other finger in the world.
That finger's
And you
been
know what?
so far in me, it saw the light from my throat.
Listen, you got to do a proper. That's a much maligned test.
No,
and
it saved my life.
It's an important test. All right.
It is. I don't look forward to
Love
it,
it.
but you are very tender. I will give you that.
Well, I use more KY than 4 out of 5 doctors surveys show. Now they're dentists. But anyway.
All right, Casey, you want to head over there?
Next.
I had one time I had a female doctor give me a prostate exam. I think she was getting back at all men in the world.
Well, yeah,
when she,
you sensed a rage there.
Oh man,
something that goes back to prom night.
Yeah,
Dude, I went to a gynecologist once. I only saw her one time. She was an extremely nice woman, but she had like man hands, and it was not.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm pretty sure this doctor was wearing a Super Bowl ring when they went up in there.
Mike has you have very proper doctor fingers, I think.
Proper doctor
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're not too invasive,
Well,
but they get the job done.
I stick with men. There's a no-fly zone. I don't do pelvics.
Oh, okay.
Women, no,
All right,
no,
yeah.
no, they have a gynecologist.
All right, so we have a medical question that's coming in from a lot of listeners over the text board, Mike,
Yes.
and it has to do with the shingles vaccine and COVID and so and flu shots. So let the listeners know about if you're going to get your shingles booster, how that would affect a COVID or a flu shot.
Yeah, so the shingle shot called Shingrix is something that's very important over the age of 50. There's 2 shots. You get the first one, then you wait 2 to 6 months after that.
So I've had my shingles.
Yes,
shot,
me
yeah.
too.
Yes. Now, the shingle shot can cause you to feel flu-like. I mean, some people, it can kick your ass.
Yep, I heard.
And so you want to do it on a day where you have nothing to do the next day, just in case. Not
Right.
everybody.
So a day when you're operating heavy machinery.
Right.
No.
Now, there's a lot of people a lot of publicity, and the CDC is saying you can get your flu shot and the COVID booster at the same time. Since we live in an area where you can get them around the corner, why? I like to separate them. Now is the time to get the flu shot, and I've been telling my patients, wait a week or so, and then if you need to get the COVID shot, then you get it. Now, I've had discussions with Paul Offit, Dr. Offit at CHOP, Mr. Vaccine. And he believes that the following criterias are the following criteria, the most important ones to get the COVID updated version.
Okay.
All right. 75 and up.
Okay.
Pregnant women, people who have diabetes and are obese, and people who have cancer.
So
or
for
being
COVID
treated for
shots,
cancer.
to delineate, I get this question a lot.
Right.
75 and up, repeat it again.
75 if you're pregnant.
Right.
If you are someone who has cancer or immunosuppressed, and people who have diabetes and obesity. Those are the major 4 categories.
So that's a framework for whether or not you should get a COVID shot.
Right.
Okay.
Now they are recommending, the CDC guidelines say everybody, but again, look, it's endemic now. It's turned into a bad flu. All right. You have a bad cold, and basically that's what it is. But that doesn't mean that certain people shouldn't get the updated version.
Who have those some extenuating risk factors.
Right, but everybody's different, and that's why you need someone to guide you through the shark-infested waters of healthcare, like me.
Pragmatically, I got you. Okay.
All right. Are you
so
ready?
again,
The anticipation over there, it's bothering me.
Really?
Yeah, like he's just sitting there waiting. I'm like,
can we delve into this
sweating
a little
for him.
more? Oh my! Wow.
So I don't ever react badly to the flu shots or any like the shingle shots, but I know some people.
I have.
What determines? Is it just luck of the draw or bad luck of the draw?
It depends on your immune system and how reactive it is to things that stimulate it.
But I have an autoimmune, you know. With
Yeah, but you seem to have a good immune system. You rarely get sick.
I rarely. Well, you know what that's from, Kathy?
What?
Dr. Mike? The Neomed rinse.
Ah!
I swear to Christ, that has been a godsend. What recommended by one Dr. Mike Sirigliano years ago.
So you would get sick prior to that?
I would get sick prior to that. And I have not gotten a classic cold, not a stomach virus or something here or there, but I have not gotten a classic cold or COVID since I was doing the Neomed rinse. I do it in the morning. If I'm going out to an event where there's going to be a lot of people, I'll do a quick rinse, 20 seconds. When I get back home, I do a quick rinse. Because, Mike, is it not the case that most of the colds and things you're going to get, they enter through the nose?
That is correct. And there's studies that show even during the pandemic, there was a reduction in viral load in the nose. You and I swear by. I did it this
swear
morning.
to God, we should be getting money from this company.
Isn't there a little controversy over?
It made me pregnant.
No. Who created it? Because I went to see Dr. Palmer and he was like, Dr. Mike has you mixing that up, but that was my concoction. I created that.
I didn't say I invented
Wow.
No, I
it.
know, but when I
Mike.
went, he was like, well, you know what Dr. Mike tells you to do. I told him to do that.
Oh, please.
This son of a bitch.
Come on.
Hey, Mike, can we talk about saunas and cold plunges? Because I just found out that the gym, the Y in Springfield, has a cold plunge, and I think I'm going to try that. I've been doing sauna for about 10 minutes a few times a week, and I assume you know about the benefits and the drawbacks of both of those?
As long as you don't have things like diabetes or heart disease. I mean, you don't want to have someone that just had a bypass jump in to a cold open.
Because of the shock.
Well, yeah, it's just not healthy.
Okay.
You would need to make sure that that's okay. But I don't have a problem with you doing that.
Okay.
Saunas, anything like that, I think can be very therapeutic.
Okay, question on that. A nuance to that, Casey. Between the actual steam sauna and like the UV sauna. You've seen those, right? Like the
Yeah.
Is there a benefit to one or both comparable?
I like the old-fashioned sauna. You know, when you start getting UV light involved, it makes me a little nervous.
Okay.
But again, I think that there is benefits to sauna.
All right.
And as long as you don't do it for too long, just like a hot tub.
Okay.
You don't want to be in a hot tub too long.
What would you consider a proper? So Preston likes to have a few pops up in the hot tub. How long can he stay in there?
Well, perhaps maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you stay in there long.
Just don't take your ketamine while you're in the hot tub.
Preston, don't be doing meth. Don't be doing meth when you're in the hot tub.
Well, just like alcohol, you don't want to go into a hot tub being completely,
schnockered.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
right.
look what happened to Matthew
That's never
Perry.
happened at resorts.
It's with you.
With anyone. Yes, with me.
In fact, it says they won't let you in unless you're bombed.
Well, being Italian, there's a word skeeve.
Yeah.
I don't like big time hot tubs.
Why?
Where everybody's
You don't like that human stew?
Yeah.
No, I want my own hot tub.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm kind of, Steve is
I don't
definitely
like public
with you on that.
pools. I don't like, I'm a little leery of the ocean sometimes because other people have been in it. All right.
Case, I really like those cold plunges. It's freezing, and I have a hard time staying in. But once you're in there and you get used to it a little bit, you can get through it.
So somebody was telling me, Kath, that if you do the cold plunge, to keep your hands and feet out of it.
So that's
what about that, Mike? To keep your hands and feet or your heart above the cold water?
Well, the more submerged you are, the more surface area that's getting exposed to very cold temperature.
Yeah, you have to
the
get
more likelihood of getting hypothermia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're only staying in for like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about
The
like
cold plunge?
The cold plunge.
Is that water or
It's
is that
water.
Yeah. I mean,
it's water.
Just for certain people, it's okay. For some people, you want to make sure that you're healthy enough to do something.
Case, they have, you can get the gloves and the socks. And so, because it's kind of hard to keep your feet, especially if it's like one of those little, tubs or whatever.
Are they
But
like neoprene gloves, neoprene socks?
there's something like that. I actually learned about the socks through Julianne Hoff's brother, Derek Hoff, because he posted a video and I commented and said, why is everyone wearing socks? And he replied back to me, and that's what it is. It's these socks that will basically not have your feet freezing.
Because I already have a pair of those. I got them for when I went to the Grand Canyon.
Hey, did you guys know that Gerardo's a grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did know that. Obviously, Gerardo, Nick, had a short-lived reality show.
Okay.
And it answered the question that no one asked, what's happened to Gerardo?
Well, he married Miss West Virginia. She won back in 1989. They have 3 kids together. They're still together. One of their daughters Nadia, ended up being a model. She won the title of Miss California in 2016. And now they have a granddaughter, and they live in Kentucky.
They live in Kentucky.
Mike, has this made you rethink the Rico Suave scenario?
Well, no, it's the video that gets, yeah. I don't know. No, it's not going to be that Rico Suave. The Rico Suave I'm talking about is probably down the shore right now. All right, with widow number 5.
Right.
Yeah, so the whole story.
He's a gigolo.
Yeah, no, the story is, my wife's a little younger than me, and, I keel over because I work 14 hours a day and a lot of stress. And then Rico will come in, and they'll toast me in Punta Cana.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Your kids will be living
But
in a
I
box.
will come back and give them a groin rash.
Here's
That's
something
what I'm
I
gonna
did
do.
not know about the song Rico Suave, since we have Dr. Mike in here. Weird Al Yankovic did a parody of it.
Oh,
You
I
guys
never
ever-
heard that.
Yeah, it's called Taco Grande.
Oh, we have to hear that.
Yes, we do.
Taco Grande.
I need to hear that. Wow.
Weird Al's coming to the Man next summer, and did we have him on the phone or we have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get that
He's
guy.
great.
I think we had him in
studio.
the
And the movie, the Weird.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, it was terrific.
So my arm is done. He's given me the injection. I'm good to go. You were talking earlier, Steve, about feeling the after effects of it and never feeling it. I have done either. I've gone either or. There have been times where nothing, like the shingles vaccine, I didn't get anything, and I did hear that you can have a bad reaction to that. But I have had it on the flu one a couple of times. Like I've woken up the next day, I'm like, man, I feel crappy. What's going on? And then didn't realize till later on. Oh yeah, I got that shot yesterday. But it's very quickly. I mean, like by the end of the day, I remember feeling better. You know what I mean? Like it
there's
knocked me on my ass.
There's 2 statements that I love. The first one is, but Dr. Mike, I never get the flu. Well, then you're not part of the human species because everybody gets viruses. Everybody.
Right.
All right. And secondly, you don't get the flu from the flu shot. Now, the one that I'm giving all of you is dead. There's nothing alive here. And what you experience the next day may seem like the flu, but it's flu-like symptoms. It's your immune system kicking in.
So it's responding to this, doing what it's supposed to do, responding to this dead sample of the flu virus.
Essentially, it is studying for the test, right? Right.
Right. That's exactly right. So that when you get the flu, oh God, I love your.
That's a good
When
analogy.
you talk
Thank you.
science, Casey.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, I have to dumb it down to for my feeble mind.
No, we all are at the same level, man. All right, so now I want to bring up this. We have to talk about flu mist because there was news just recently.
Flu mist?
Flu mist is a nasal spray.
Yeah, they did that for a while, right?
Well, it's available only in a doctor's office now. However,
Why?
it's a live attenuated virus. So what does that mean? It's a live virus, but it's weakened. So if you're pregnant, you cannot get it. If you're immunosuppressed,
You can't take this
You
version.
cannot get this.
Okay.
But the FDA has approved it for home administration next fall.
Okay.
So if you're somebody that doesn't like needles in the arm and you're petrified about needles, you have a needle phobia, you could potentially order it. You need a prescription, and then you.
And what is it? $2,500 a dose?
No, I think it's going to be $39 or something like that.
All right, I want to play this for you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I wonder why that didn't get more significant airplay.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. All right, listen, we have to take a break because we're going live on Fox Good Day here in a moment.
We're going on with his other family.
Are you going to go on with us?
No. No.
What?
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to give them their flu shots tomorrow.
See who ranks here?
We should have him pop his head in real quick just as to blow them away or something like that. They'll find it kind of humorous. All right, well, let's stick around for a moment, Dr. Mike. But
all right.
Get your flu shot, and you can get them, like you said, around the corner.
They're everywhere.
There's probably that guy who lives in the box outside your house. Ask him. He's probably got a few.
Everybody has.
But you can definitely go to your local pharmacy or obviously your doctor and get this taken care of. So, all right, well, we love you.
Love you.
Dr. Mike Sirigliano. Yeah, there he goes. Our own Taco Grande. Suave. Oh, this is the original. Yeah, the OG. You don't like this guy. This is his new theme song, by the way.
Yeah.
From Mike. All right, we do have to take a break. We'll come back in a second. The B-File, the Fox Good Day hit, and more coming up, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve. Listen to me, or at least slow down by 20 miles an hour.
We knew we were going to have one gentleman for sure that was coming in. We have two here this morning. This is a momentous occasion.
Call it an honor.
I'd have to say because he is the best-looking 60-year-old man I've ever seen in my life. It's his birthday today.
Yes.
So we first want to welcome our friend Sean Wayans, who's been here on many occasions. And his brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans, is here celebrating his birthday today.
Hello, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it, man. Welcome to Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, now all the women in my family are going to kill you because you said my age. And they all lie about theirs.
You were working as a stand-up when you met Robert Townsend, correct?
Yeah, well, when I met Robert and Eddie and all of us, we all started out at the same time and in the club in New York at the Improv.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how we, started working together.
And you I believe, if the legend is correct, that you are one of the writers or co-writers on Raw, correct?
Yeah, on Raw. I worked on that with Eddie. I also produced it, and Robert directed it.
I remember that day.
Oh, there was a picture. Put the picture back up. Yeah.
I was back there with you guys, right? And I was slapboxing with Eddie, and I almost hit him, and then security grabbed me and was like, all right. All right, Junior, you about to mess up this money. Go sit your ass down.
Wow.
So that's cool. But all you guys have had such a massive effect on comedy and a type of comedy that I love, we all love. That is, you helped usher it in. Eddie Murphy did as well.
What happened in my career was I started out, sort of by myself.
Yeah.
And then as my family started getting into the business, I kind of realized that it was either going to be all of us or one. So I decided to make it about all of us. So I kind of stepped away from acting and started to
cultivate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and Sean, we were talking earlier about how you were first on the show as the DJ.
Yeah.
And you'd already been doing comedy. You're doing stuff like that. But so from your point, Keenan, as you're seeing family member after family member, I want to do this. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a double-edged sword, or what do you first say to them when they come to you and they say you as sort of the default patriarch? I want to do this.
He nurtured us.
Yeah.
My thing with them was as long as you're willing to work. I always wanted them to know that it wasn't easy, and I would give them small opportunities in the beginning. I never gave anyone a starring role who wasn't ready, and like I said, I made sure that they all put in their work, and it is the fact that they're where they are in their careers now is testament to the fact that they came in the right way.
Did anybody ever get mad at you saying, "Hey, I'm ready for my starring role"?
Always. When Damon first started,
I was the DJ, man.
And you were a damn good DJ.
I could play sketches too and scratch.
Hey, the guy right behind you is really talented.
Well, when Damon first started, I told him, I said, "Give yourself 10 years." Yeah. And he looked at me like I was insane, and he was like, "It's gonna take me 10 years." Well, 10 years later, he was ready.
We say the same. I tell like the interns and people who are coming up in the radio business, and now we've been, it's the 20th anniversary of the show, and I say, trust me, if you were to jump 5 years into the future and look back, you wouldn't believe where you were or how things have changed.
Yeah.
So that's very sage advice. But when you're young and hungry, it's hard to perceive that.
It is, and the thing is, youth youth is something that people think everything is supposed to happen when you're young.
Right.
And they're disappointed if it doesn't, because youth is when, you make the money, you chase the girls, you do. And that's the experience that everybody wants, as opposed to being great at what you do.
Yeah.
And being great at what you do takes a lot more time than that. And sometimes, youth passes you by. And I tell people all the time, if your goal is to be a CEO of a company, it doesn't matter if it happens at 20 or 60.
Yeah.
You still accomplish your goal.
Yeah. All right. So you have to be a really good talent scout, right? So within Living Color, were you the sole decision maker as far as who was on the cast and who wasn't?
Yeah.
All right, so it was because you did an amazing job with that, and you look at all of the people that came out of there.
Well, they were all people that I knew.
That you knew.
Right? So we were all in the clubs together.
Okay.
So when I got an opportunity, it was like, who's the funniest guys I know? Like, it wasn't really like a hard thing to do, because I knew they were funny.
You were working with people like Jim Carrey and all those. All those guys were paying their dues.
And he knew what to do with them.
Right. But that's a key. That is a gift. There's Lorne Michaels has that that ability, and also who's going to synergize well with each other.
But you also, your show aired at 8:00 on Sunday, and so you had a younger audience in myself.
Right.
And I mean, I loved it. You know what I mean? Like Ace Ventura came out, I was like all over that. And
It got moved to 8. Started at 9.
Did it start at 9?
Yeah.
What did Parker Lewis Can't Lose? Was that your lead?
The Ferris Bueller ripoff?
I love that show too.
Fox wanted to make it an anchor show.
Okay.
So they moved us to 8.
Did they initially, or because would it first really, because it kind of hit the ground running, if my memory was, and did they go, whoa, we need to bump this up?
Yeah, well, initially they were very afraid of the show.
Yeah.
Period. Like they had no idea what was going to happen. But once the show was successful, then it was like, every network strategy is going to be, how many other shows can we launch?
Right.
So, they ended up moving us.
In this day and age of reboots, we're seeing TV shows rebooted. What's the likelihood? We don't have a good sketch show. SNL's the only thing going right now, as far as I know.
I think there's absolutely a new generation.
Yeah.
So it would just. I don't think that the guys from the past would
step forward.
Yeah, want to do that again. But there's absolutely a new generation out there, and it would be fun.
Yeah.
We're in a time now where I think a show like In Living Color is needed, but at the same time, it's the sensitivity.
Can you do it?
Yeah,
No, that's a good question. We were wondering about that, about the. Preston and I were having a talk earlier about the comedy club or the theater. When you guys are there, that's your realm, and all bets are off. You should be allowed. There's there's safe spaces for satire and comedy and thought provoking, whatever you want to do. That's your palette. And there's been hits on it lately.
It's the phone.
Yeah.
You see, because
absolutely
the people who are in the club, they paid to be there and they want to see it.
Yeah.
But people who are filming, now it's going to people who didn't want to see it.
You're
and
right.
then when they do see it, now they're pissed. It's never the people who are in.
That's why I didn't want to go. See that?
Well, speaking of that, even some rock bands have adopted no phone.
I don't think phones should
get
be
out
allowed.
of here.
I think you're there for the experience and enjoy the experience. And
well, Kevin Hart played the Link, the stadium here, and there was a no phone rule for that whole show. It can be done. It's a pain in the ass, but I mean, I would agree.
Yes, you lift a clip out, you lift a soundbite out of context, and people are going to go ape.
It's just crazy.
I heard somebody, and I don't remember who the performer was, saying recently though that they, it's really easy to see from the stage when somebody does get on their phone. Have you guys noticed that? Like if you're up on stage, you can tell immediately.
If the light is on,
You can tell, but you just don't want to stop. You got to understand. You got people in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
You got momentum going,
right?
And you're thinking about your next thing, and you're trying to be physical, and you're trying to be in the moment, and then someone has their phone up. Do you stop your whole show to deal with this guy with his phone up, and then kill the people's?
No,
show?
you're right. So you're going to ruin it for other people. It makes total sense.
Sometimes you do, and you make him part of the show, and you destroy him for being the idiot.
Yeah, which is
for pulling
also
the phone
good.
out. But
You channel your Richard Pryor.
yeah, if I gotta stop, I'm gonna destroy you.
Keenan, I have to tell you that I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is one of my absolute favorite movies.
Thank you.
Hilarious. I think people need to revisit it, but I think it's also sort of it's the likely first step to getting to Don't Be a Menace, which that same sort of comedy, which has became the style of comedy. When you were putting that together, how difficult was that to pull everybody? You had a lot of cameos and stuff. Give us the idea of what that production was like.
I was very lucky. And Jim Brown really, he and Bernie Casey, once they came on,
got it done.
Then everybody else was like, well, if they'll do it. And
they were essential.
Yeah.
They were what Leslie Nielsen was.
Yes, they were the icons of the era. And so once I was able to bring them on board, it went really smooth. And it really was, it was an homage to them. So
and the blaxploitation movies of the 70s.
Those are the movies I grew up watching, and
so did I. They were
enjoyed
awesome.
them.
Yeah.
So, when I was writing it affectionately. So that's why I think that they responded to it. And then these guys did the same thing for their generation with Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah.
So I was on the set of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, 17-year-old boy watching his big brother do his thing and just taking it all in and going, man, one day I want to do a movie just like this.
Yeah, and you did.
A couple of years later.
Yeah.
Don't Be a Menace was born.
It's Sean and Keenan Ivory Wayans here, and we want to do something special because it's a special day, and we have something to bring out for Keenan. It is his birthday today, so we got a cake for you, Keenan. Yes.
He don't eat cake though.
Happy birthday to you. So you don't eat cake, huh?
No, I don't. But I appreciate the 7 candles. It's my 7th birthday.
There you go. So you can blow out the candles, and there you go. The first ever Bond girl, Eunice Gayson, has died. She was 90 years old. She starred as James Bond's love interest, Sylvia Trench, opposite Sir Sean Connery in Dr. No back in 1962.
The iconic scene of all Bond movies, when James Bond first is introduced, she is across the, I don't know if we have the audio of it from the clip, but she is across the table, and here it is.
I admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
So, Sylvia Trench, you got to love the names that they gave these women.
Clark, the song is called The Emptiness Machine on 93.3 WMMR. Have to admit, I am enjoying the new Linkin Park music.
I agree.
Good stuff. All right, 7:54. We're just a couple of minutes away from going live on Fox Good Day, so we will get to that momentarily. And in a little while as well, your first good money at keyword for the day, $1,000. Your opportunity to win coming up in just a little bit. Let's take a look at traffic for the moment and see what's happening. Kath, what do you have for us?
An accident on 295 northbound has a jam 541 Mount Holly to Florence, Columbus, exit 52. On the 42 freeway northbound, that slowed the Black Horse Pike to 295. 55 northbound backing up Deptford to 42. 95 southbound jams Cottman to Bridge. And then at the Betsy Ross Bridge, we've got an accident off to the shoulder. The Vine westbound jams the length. Schuylkill eastbound slowing from the Blue Road into Belmont. The Boulevard to the Vine westbound side from Thayer Avenue to South Street. The Boulevard out to Gladwin. Henry Avenue at Valley Avenue, an accident affecting both directions. And then northbound on Henry Avenue east of Wise's Mill Road, another accident there. 926 Street Road in Kennett Square between Unionville Road and Mill Road, we've got an accident. And then on the Ben Franklin Bridge westbound, you're jammed the Toll Plaza to 5th Street. This traffic report brought to you by Batteries Plus. You can get a key fob for up to 50% less than at the dealership. Keys cut, key fobs programmed, and batteries replaced on the spot. Get a spare key today at Batteries Plus. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. We're, 30 seconds or so away from going live on Fox Good Day. A reminder, we have a secret text word prize today. We have a chance for you to win Tickets for the Lincoln Mill Haunted House. It's on Main Street in Manayunk. And live scare actors, production quality sets, animatronics, special effects. And they have the serial killer story, Victor Kane's Secret to Manayunk, that whole thing.
Lunatic.
Text the word secret to 39333 right now, and you will have your chance to win before the end of the program. We'll get a random text on top of that, too. So here we go on Fox Good Day. That's what the music means.
Hey, Preston and Steve, if you could, right off the top here, is Marissa working today? Can you get her in?
Marissa's here. She's on the phone.
Wait a minute. Actually, hold on. Come over here. This is, here she is, right here. She just wanted to say hi.
Hi,
real
Marissa.
quick.
Hey, Dr. Mike.
Oh, it's Dr. Mike. I'm sorry.
Hey!
They wanted Marissa. Sorry about that. Get out of here.
Flu shots tomorrow for you guys.
Okay, bring them in tomorrow.
Oh gosh, I gotta get ready.
Marissa is
Nasal
here.
spray.
Yes.
Okay, so we found this survey that pinpoints state by state. One word. They asked thousands of women. What one word describes men? Marissa?
Ooh. Fun.
Wow.
Fun. I like that.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I was not prepared for this.
One word.
Annoying?
Annoying.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Annoying.
That's perfect.
Alex.
But it differs by state.
It differs by
Really?
state. So go through some of them, Alex.
Yeah, okay. So they talked to 3,000 women across the country. And for Delaware, it was reliable.
Reliable.
Reliable, guys.
Reliable men in Delaware. All
See,
right.
that's that tax-free shopping mindset.
Must be.
Right. In New Jersey, overbearing.
Wow.
Overbearing. Tony Soprano.
Wow.
That's right.
Maybe it's the fist pumping. I don't know.
That's right.
Pennsylvania, immature.
What?
Immature.
You're immature?
You're immature.
Good one. And then we're doing our home states here. So for Kansas, it's lazy.
That's my home state.
All right.
So these.
And for Texas, arrogant.
No
So
question.
the only
That's perfect.
reliable, we just get one from Delaware, reliable, and everything else is a bad
garbage.
comment.
Negative, yeah. Ooh.
What's going on here?
We need to move to Delaware, obviously.
Okay.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Some men may not want to be seen as just reliable. Like, that doesn't say exciting or like, you know what I mean?
It's true.
They might want to be a little more.
I'll go with mature. I admit I'm very immature. All right, Kath, describe the men in the room. Let's start with
one
Nick.
word for each.
Kathy, how
Oh,
do
my
you
God.
describe
One
Nick?
word for. Okay. Nick, I'm going smart.
Oh,
That's nice.
That's actually a compliment.
that is nice.
Casey Boy.
Succulent.
Oh, man.
Just say it. Just say
Casey
it.
got mad at me the other day, so I can't say the one word that I want to describe. Casey is caring.
How about that?
Wow. Now I want to know what you really want.
I know what you want.
I wanted to say gross, but I can't because he'll get mad at me.
Yeah.
Say it. Say it.
Gross. I said it. I wanted to say gross, but he's not. He's not. I promise.
You're just gross.
His face.
What about Preston? How do you describe him? In one word?
Preston is
Gross.
no, Preston's not gross.
No.
Kind
Desirable.
of like the no, like
Virile?
not fatherly, but sort of will.
Paternal.
He can like reel us back in sometimes.
That's
Mature.
more than one word.
Well, I said fatherly, but like
Responsible.
yeah, responsible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Responsibly.
And Steve obviously is funny.
Ah, thank you. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
And
very
immature.
good.
Yay!
Yay, good job, Kat.
Yay!
I didn't, by the way, I didn't know that they
And
were
it
going to
makes
do
sense
this to you.
I know, but she came prepared. And it's interesting you said that he's fatherly for Preston, and he's wearing like a free dad hug shirt. Which
That's right.
I
There you
love.
go.
Shirt.
Apropos, most definitely.
And I'm wearing free joke shirt on my back.
I didn't know Preston was gay.
My son is.
There you go. Thank you, fellas.
Thank
All right,
you.
We'll see you later,
Straight
guys.
up
All
Davis
right.
wins.
Thank you very much. All right. That was interesting. Kathy. Very
I
complimentary.
couldn't think of the word for you though. Like it's not fatherly, but it's. I don't know. I need a thesaurus.
Would let me think of a word that you might be Recalcitrant.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
means stink.
Tarry residue around a duck's anus.
No, you know what I'm thinking, like, of meetings, and when, like, the meetings start to, everybody's got these ideas, everyone's throwing them, and now it's like just a jumbled mess. He puts it all together, and he's like,
organizational?
okay. Like, he'll take everyone's ideas and present it as one, and I guess I guess that's not what I
would you
get.
say. Would you say he's a noticer?
I would say that. Yes.
Would you say he's a stream of consciousness-ner?
I would, but that's not one word.
A connoisseur.
Yes, I would say that as well.
Okay. All of these things and more. You can just call me Legion if you want.
Yes, that's right.
I'll be one of many in one. Yeah. All right. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, we got to do this.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, and that word is tip. It's T-I-P. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. 3 ways for you to do that. WMMR.com, the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. And each winner gets a call from Beasley, so make sure that you answer your phone. There are contest rules available at WMMR.com. It's sponsored by Horizon Services, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So again, the word is tip, and that is spelled T-I-P. Come and get that money.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, I got some stories for you, man. This one is messed up. We love Fat Bear Week, right?
Oh, yes. Love Fat Bear Week.
Well, this year's been a little bit interesting. Nick, did you see this story?
I did not.
The contenders for this year's Fat Bear Week were not revealed Monday as planned after a skirmish between 2 Alaskan grizzlies in Katmai National Park led to the death of one of the animals, and the fight was captured on a live stream run by Explore.org, which partners with the National Park Service to host the annual bear competition and shares video online for fans to follow along and vote. So Mike Fritz, the resident naturalist at Explore.org, said earlier today a bear killed another bear on the river.
Man,
it was caught
wild.
Live on the webcams, and we thought, well, we can't go ahead with our Fat Bear Week bracket reveal without addressing this situation first. The 2024 Fat Bear Week bracket reveal was postponed because of that. The fight between a male brown bear and an older female, one of the contestants last year known as Bear 402, unfolded at the mouth of the Brooks River in Katmai.
I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail. I'm so proud to be me.
The Bears are currently hunting the end of the seasonal salmon run as they prepare to enter hibernation during the coming winter months. Fitz said that the Bears' death and what led up to it was difficult to watch. He said, we do know that this time of year the bears are in a state of hyperphagia and they are eating anything and everything they can. He said, I don't know why a bear would want to expend so much energy trying to kill another bear as a food source. It is an uncommon thing to see a bear predating on another bear, but it's not completely out of the question. So it's hard to say how this started. So, dude, the one bear was trying to eat the other bear.
This is sad.
Yeah.
I would never eat any of you. I just want you to know that.
Even when you're getting ready to hibernate?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. So they said, we love to celebrate the success of bears with full stomachs and ample body fat, but the ferocity of bears is real. The risks that they face are real. Their lives can be hard and their deaths can be painful.
That bear ferocity is real.
Fritz said Bear 402 was beloved. The animal likely died by drowning, he said. So
that's what it looks like. It's getting pushed under the water. This is very sad to see this. Listen, and they attack. Obviously, there's interactions and things like that, but they're beautiful animals.
Yeah. But
and I, for one, I'm going to protest this.
They're pretty much the most formidable thing in the forest. So, wow, that's pretty messed up. All right, how about this? A Florida man and his mother jointly ran a sprawling prostitution ring for nearly a quarter century, washing hundreds of thousands of dollars via various front companies and real estate purchases, according to police, who nabbed the pair as they allegedly prepared to flee the country.
I know on the surface this is illegal, but is a man just trying to find something to do with his mom?
In the affidavit to an arrest warrant that was filed, they said, based on
I don't knit. What else can we do?
Intelligence gathered and evidence obtained by records, there is reason to believe that Margareta von Lambert is using her Florida realtor's license to facilitate the laundering of illicit proceeds for her son, Christopher Jelovic.
Christopher, why is your whorehouse so nice? Well, my mom helps me run it.
Many of the escorts working for the mother-son team were registered as real estate agents and had valid real estate licenses. The mother-son duo went into business in 2000 and have been targeted by investigators multiple times in the past, but have never been prosecuted until now. Their primary company, Pretty Woman Escorts, offered Latin American and European women for $300 to $400 an hour. And so one of the ads said on Pretty Woman's website, "Good things come in tiny packages. This tiny 5'2" Colombian is waiting for you." And another one said, "I'm an Asian Latina. I take extreme pride in myself and my appearance. I am always impeccably groomed and dressed for any occasion."
Do they offer group rates?
An investigation was launched in January and found the business was hidden behind a front company, Boca Art Studios. A law enforcement review for the bank account showed large deposits from Boca as well as money coming from Social Security. Checks written against the account showed various payments for vague purposes, such as home remodeling, loan for construction, IPH school refund travel expenses, and multiple checks for bathroom remodeling.
Do you know, it's very smart. They accept Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Which lists Fortis and Lambert's husband as one of the regular recipients. Police managed to insert an undercover operative posing as a driver who got further information about the alleged goings-on. It's unclear how the authorities kept Jelovic and Von Lambert from off of the flights that they caught them on. But Jelovic was arrested September 11th and Lambert on September 12th, and they were both ordered to turn in their passports. So mother-son prostitution ring. And it's been going on for 25 years, man.
Crazy.
Yep. So, you know the old urban legend that says cockroaches will be the lone survivors of a nuclear war. Well, one family knows all too well. In Sunset Beach, Florida, a family cleaning their flooded home from Hurricane Helene discovered at least 5 cockroaches hiding inside of a coffee pot. And there's a picture of them. It shows the roaches, also known as palmetto bugs, huddled together to escape the rising waters. They found, according to the family, they said these roaches found the perfect shelter in our coffee pot.
We made it.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Cockroaches are
The
very
water just came rising up over the pot.
common in Florida's humid climate, with 37.6% of homeowners in Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg reporting infestations annually, according to the Urban Housing Development. A family on Siesta Key in Florida survived Hurricane Helene, but narrowly escaped when they say a Tesla parked in their garage ignited in the middle of the night.
Oh, my God.
Most of the Hodges family was in bed when the blaze broke out, but 2 of their grandchildren stayed up a little past midnight, and they started hearing a popping sound coming from the garage and went to see what was going on. That's when they discovered what the Hodges described as a fireball. As fire alarms blared and the family rushed to get outside, they said the car became engulfed in flames in less than a minute.
Set the house on fire?
Yeah, the Hodges said it took less than 15 minutes for their grandchildren's bedrooms to collapse in the fire. Shortly afterward, the entire house went up and it was done.
Super intense heat. You can't put it out.
Yeah. They had no idea that a small amount of water could cause their car to ignite and reduce their dream home to ashes. The Sarasota County Fire Department whisked the 9-member family and 2 dogs to safety. However, the home that the Hodges just moved into after a 3-year renovation project is now gone. Officials are warning the community about the dangers of lithium-ion batteries in salt water.
Yeah.
Whether it's an electric car, a hybrid, a golf cart, or a scooter, if it uses a lithium-ion battery and it comes into contact with salt water, it needs to be considered a fire hazard. It should not be in your home or your garage.
To that point, did you see the picture or the video of the guy who had taken his Cybertruck down on the beach? Not realizing this clearly.
No.
Got salt water on it, and it set on fire right on the beach.
No way.
And they couldn't move it. It was burning for like a day and a half.
Yeah, those things will burn for a long-ass time.
There was a family in a neighborhood right by me, and they had built a brand new house. I think they were in it less than a year, and something in the garage ignited, and whole house gone. They had to rebuild.
All right, that's what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, so you got about 5 minutes left to enter the word tip. You'll need to do that now. That is the Good Money It keyword, tip, T-I-P. So make sure that you send that in now. You can do it through the website, WMMR.com, the MMR app, or text it to 45911. Don't miss your chance to win that cash. We'll be back in just a moment, so stay with us, please.
Preston and Steve on
Huge gaping gash.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You
You know what I mean? If you're going with Trench and Pussy Galore and things like that.
Pussy, Harriet, Pussy.
Yeah. No, I
Countess Smelly Bunghole. Well, Miss Bunghole. Yeah, Pussy Galore. And that was, a lot of vagina. Was the,
to play off of that. A lot of vagina.
But Sylvia Trench. Yeah, Harry Gash.
Harry Gash.
Slimy Bush.
Slimy.
Putrid Pooter.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it going. I'm having fun.
Melisandre Double Fist.
Yeast infectantine.
Yeah. So
rest in peace.
What a lovely tribute to Eunice.
Chlamydia hysterectomy.
So Steve, she was in From Russia with Love as well.
Yes. So he actually leaves her to go off on this mission, but the idea was to keep her sort of continuing the way Moneypenny. It was sort of a flirtation to keep her in and out of his life, but they passed on that. But that's the first time in the Bond films where James Bond is introduced at the Baccarat table. I believe they're playing Baccarat. And it's great.
Did she know Steaming Butthole, too?
She knew Steaming Butthole was her sister.
All right. But anyhow, a post on her official Twitter feed read, an amazing lady.
Perhaps you know my sister, Queef Poop Splatter.
And my cousin, Purdy Turd Cutter.
So the Twitter feed read, an amazing lady who left a lasting impression on everyone that she met.
Did you say Queef Poop Splatter?
She will be very much missed. You know what? I got to point this out. Lately, when you've come in here and we're doing this crossover thing, I don't know where you're going.
Excuse me, what?
No, I mean your inflection. It sounds like, is he going to say something else, or is he done now? And I'm having a hard time. I think we're off. I think we're out of sequence. I think we're
have like a
He does have a
bonding
secret.
session.
He's become a soldier of fortune.
Oh
yeah.
Maybe let's do an Outward Bound together or something.
Furthermore, I did. And that.
Hey.
What?
I wanted to ask you.
I'm not saying you're stopping in the middle of what you're saying.
He's saying you're an unprofessional broadcaster.
Actually finish the words,
that's
and
certainly
then
true.
Your inflection is as if you're going to continue on, and then you don't.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. You should have heard us all day. The amount of screw-ups and semi-said words and spotties.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, Preston looks at me and goes, what's going on? I go, I'm just trying to get my head out of my ass.
Yep. So you're done talking now.
What?
Okay. What is on your show today?
There was once a time.
Oh, is that you doing that, Steve? I'm like, where's that noise coming from?
Beautiful day. Then I found myself camping. That part's wrong because I wouldn't camp.
Oh.
That part's wrong in my own story.
And well,
I'd like to correct my story.
A Motel 6 is camping for me.
You going to U2 tonight?
Yes! Yes! And you have access to right? You're gonna be on premises, yes?
Something to talk about.
Thank God.
Oh my God, yes! It's like a first date.
Oh my God, we found something in common.
I like spaghetti too.
I have a follow-up question. Do you think that the band will do anything for the radio station? I believe they've been made aware that it's the 50th birthday, but I don't know if they're planning on saying anything.
I don't know. There could be something from the stage, possibly.
May I recommend something?
Yes.
Put like a coil of speaker wire over your shoulder, put your hair in a ponytail, hold a Guinness, and pretend you're a roadie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Because, but again, I
cannot affect an Irish accent like you can.
Well, just pretend you could, in fact, make it a horrible one.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, goshly.
Gosh.
Did you just say, oh, Garshly? The hell does that mean? This man's an imposter. Don't just tackle him, shoot him.
Oh, Garshly Bob Bono. I've got.
My name is not Bob Bono.
I've got to tie me shoe.
Bob Bono.
Bob Bono. I remember you back when you were playing the clubs, don't you know?
Don't you know? Potatoes. Potatoes and leprechauns, right?
And
Am I right?
Yo.
Mr. Bono just goes, he's one of us. Potatoes and leprechauns, am I right?
Wow.
Shillelaghs, right, guys?
Shillelaghs, potatoes, and leprechauns. Right, everybody?
I love this text from somebody that says, I think you two just canceled. Case, we got to get you on one of those water jet packs.
Oh my
God, I would love that.
We've got to get you on that. So I know they do.
Where's
have
the closest one?
They've got them down there somewhere.
AC they do.
We talked about it last year or the year before, and people said that they are available in certain spots. Very, very expensive to rent. But
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's the case or
Maybe
not.
we get a knockoff one.
A knockoff jetpack. But I personally would love to go on one of those things. But I'm dying to see you on one.
You see the dudes who are able to flip down and go underwater and dive it down and come back up?
Since they've had those out now for several years, there's people that have mastered them, and they can do all kinds of spinny, wild, crazy things in the air and then dive down in and back up.
I'm afraid that I would jetpack myself right down into the water and not be able to right myself, and then just
go down to the bottom and stay there.
Yes,
Down to
just
the bottom of the
continue
ocean.
to thrust myself.
We're watching video footage. They now have them where you can strap them on your feet.
Yeah.
That's
it's basically just a board.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I wouldn't do that one. I would not do that one.
Killed on these.
Casey, who would be more? Just screaming down to the ocean floor.
Where's Daddy? Any kids? Anybody see Daddy?
Please welcome Lil Rel Howery to the show.
What up? What
This
up?
morning,
What it
Rel.
do? I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
You bet, man. Thanks for coming in.
For those who may not be familiar with you, you've had so many great, awesome roles, and you won the MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance in the movie Get Out. That had to have been a nice little feather in the cap getting an award for that.
Yeah, it's actually really dope because also last night my friend Tiffany Haddish received the same award.
Yeah. Yes.
We just took it. I told her this morning, back-to-back years.
And she's in Uncle Drew.
Yeah, she's in
Yeah.
Uncle Drew also, which is such a fun movie, man, we did.
So explain for people who are familiar, they may have seen the commercials. There were the commercials were featuring the character of Uncle Drew. Explain what Uncle Drew is about.
So it started from, so people don't know this, Kyrie came up with Uncle Drew, and
He created it?
It's based on his dad. Because
Wow.
his dad still plays basketball. So he basically created this old, he's better as an older version of his dad, but his dad still plays all the time. Just this older guy who's on the court still balling dudes.
Yeah. So it was him who came up with the idea of this.
Came up with the idea.
This guy who sort of schools some street ballers.
And the first time he did, I think we always forget. So they did it in Chicago first, and nobody knew who it was. So it was actually a real court, real game. He showed up in the old man stuff, balled everybody out. I didn't even know it was Kyrie until maybe like the fourth commercial.
Yeah, because it was hard. The makeup was done, first off, very well. You could obviously see body-wise the guy, it would have been an exemplary shape. But the facial makeup was very well done.
It was very well done. That's what was so amazing about the movie with all the prosthetics, with all the players.
Yeah.
I'm almost forgot how everybody looked in real life.
Did you?
Because they'll be in there for 5 hours. So when I show up on set, they already old. And when I left, they were still old. So I literally forgot how everybody looked until Kyrie did that press conference when he went to the Celtics. And I was like, oh. That's your face.
Well, in the movie, so you have a team.
Yeah.
And you have your adversary is Nick Kroll, which is borderline science fiction that he's got, but I got it. So he's your adversary because he plays a good prick. So you guys are playing off against each other. He sort of steals he just crushes you. He's your adversary.
Yeah, he's destroyed my life in different times.
So that spurs you on to
have to find somebody to help me, and that's when I heard about Uncle Drew from different people, like the guys at the barbershop tell me about him, but I've never seen him.
It's a stuff of legend, but you figure you'll explore it.
Like, come on, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like when Dax, his name, my character, discovers Drew, was really by mistake. This was after I couldn't find any new players to play on my team. I went around all these different playgrounds, and I just happened to be at a playground and see Drew take on this dude one-on-one. That's when I approached him.
And so what his one deal is, he'll do it, but he has to be able to pick his own teammates.
Right, that's where the story gets hilarious and fun. That it's taking this road trip to pick up all these other old dudes.
And you're getting older versions of these great players.
Shaq and Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Preston mentioned Get Out.
Yeah.
We had Jordan Peele in, I guess he was still working on Get Out. He was in promoting, I think it was Keanu.
Yeah.
And it became clear as we were talking that he was just a huge horror fan in this whole thing. And he was simultaneously sort of excited but nervous about what Get Out would be. None of you could have seen how this would take off the way it did.
No, I mean, when we did it, it was one of those things where like either this is gonna do well or it's not, right? And it wasn't a big budget, so we all did do it because we love Jordan Peele, and I just love the script. Once the trailer came out, and then we went to reshoot the ending, I'm like, oh, I think this is gonna do good.
What was your first indication? Was it the reshooting?
It was the trailer.
The trailer.
It was the trailer.
Yeah,
the way when my family started calling me like, we can't wait to see this. I'm like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Why did you reshoot the ending?
Well, I wanted to ask about that too, because I watched both endings, and we don't want to betray what happens at the end of the movie.
Wait, I didn't know there's two.
It's on the disc.
On the disc.
You can get it on.
You can see the original.
They actually got it on YouTube too. I mean, the original ending.
Which one did you like better? Before you go into the story about that.
I appreciate the original because it was real.
Yep.
But then also I knew as a fan of movies, we just needed a hero, man.
Yeah, it needed to have a more satisfying ending. I know what you mean.
People would have left the theater with different energy if we would have kept. Because when I saw the first cut, it was with the original ending, and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was.
But you know what? Because he's a. I mean here's the difference. Horror, and they'll say horror comedy. I like my horror. You can have some comedy, and you provide the comedy.
But you know what made it work though? Because Jordan wrote it real.
He wrote it real. Yes, you can tell.
All I was the audience that watched the movie,
and that's why it works. When they try to over yuck it up, that's when they screw it up. Because that would have undermined what is really a brilliant horror movie that works on multiple levels.
Yeah. And what was masterfully done was that the trailer thought you were getting into one thing, and the movie got you into something else, and you're like, whoa. That's hard to pull off.
How much of your character of the... First off, do you ever have to go through TSA ever now?
So I'll tell you something funny about that. They show love when I showed them. Oh man, we appreciate you, but you still got to take your shoes off. So I still get no real love. I still got to do everything. They still do it. Like they take their job more seriously now, which is crazy. Like,
well, you give them a sense of pride. Was there any on-set ad-libbing because you seem so natural? Your simultaneous pride and condemnation of him for going in the first place.
So the funny thing about it is, I thought I was saying stuff that was scripted, and then we did a panel, and Jordan was like, "Nah, this is you just saying stuff."
Wow, that's great.
But he let me do that. He'll have we'll do the takes where I do everything scripted, and I do a real take, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, if anyone's going to appreciate comedic ability.
It's Jordan. Yeah, that's why he's a great director.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, talking about being on the set and improving lines, and we have Adam McKay as a friend of the show, and he says he'll laugh when someone's riffing on set and doing the deal, and that actually encourages the actors. You as a performer, when you're doing something, do you like to hear response, or does it throw you off? Because technically, you're not supposed to be hearing someone laughing, but how does it work?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on what it is. Like, so for instance, it's not I'm trying to plug this, but I got a show on Fox this year called Real, a sitcom.
Yes.
I like a live studio audience because I like to hear it right away. It's easy to write to that. I give you a perfect example of not that environment is doing Get Out. I kept trying to make Daniel, who played, I just wanted to make him laugh. Like, he had to be sad. So I'm like saying all this crazy. That's why when you see those outtakes of me doing it, it's me trying to make him laugh, trying to break him. So, like.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, Kathy. A little bit later on, we're going to have actor Sean Cannon on from Cobra Kai. He plays Mike Barnes. He was in Karate Kid 3. And I will play this music probably when we bring him on. But I'm going to play it now because the battle for the best convenience store in the U.S. has a winner.
Yes.
And it is through the American Customer Satisfaction Index. And Wawa has won as the best convenience store in America. What we've all known for decades, obviously, and Wawa has taken the nation by storm. It's so cool. And is it funny? Isn't it humorous? how we are taking pride in this right now. The news stations are all over it. Anybody you mention it to is like, yeah, us. You know what I mean?
Well, you know why? Because we, for decades, think about it. When we first started doing the show, Preston, years ago, every morning after the show, we would collectively go to the Wawa up the street.
Yep,
so
our lunch.
We have been... It is an every day. And how many times are we visiting Wawa? And that's the local component that is now expanded and everyone now is finding out how wonderful it is. So we do take a bit of ownership of it.
So you mentioned that Ocean's Calling Festival, Preston, and I went to it this weekend with some people who don't live in this area. And we drove down south through Delaware into Maryland. And my friend Jen was thrilled because along the way, there were several Wawas where we could stop because they don't get it that much. Yeah. She lives in North Jersey, like right outside of New York, and they just don't have them there. So anytime she comes into our area, she's like, we are stopping at Wawa, and I am stocking up. And I was like, yeah,
it means
badass.
home.
Yeah. It does.
And I think like we're all sort of obsessed with Wawa, and like we think we're the only ones, but like the reality is like everybody really is obsessed with Wawa. And like my dad's final birthday on this earth, we were all at a wedding, and my dad loved Wawa. He went there every single day of his life. And the greatest gift was me and all my siblings, we just bought hundreds of dollars worth of like $5, $10 Wawa gift cards. And we gave them to the entire party, wedding party. And just throughout the night, people would walk up to my dad and go, isn't tonight your birthday? And then they would pull out a Wawa gift card and give it to him. And
so that was all planned?
That was all planned.
That's great.
Cool. And it was the first one, my dad was like, yeah, it is my birthday, but like by the 50th one, he was just howling.
That's really funny.
Just howling, laughing. That was my sister's idea. It was a really, really great idea.
That's a great idea for anybody to do, man. I love that.
And you really, in this area, can't go wrong with like birthdays or whatever, like Wawa gift card. Yeah. That gets it done, man.
Yeah, but again, it is cool because there's always something like with these lists always goes wrong, and you know how the dark side of convenience stores, the seedy underworld.
So I was not born and raised here, but I have lived here for 28 years, almost 29 years, and when I first started working in Philly, we are actually in Jenkintown, where WDRE was, and around the corner, there was a Wawa. I had never heard of this place before. I just kind of drove past it, and I'm like, well, there's a convenience store. I'll just pop in.
Yeah.
And immediately, I latched onto it because of the fresh-made sandwiches. And I used to get, they don't have it anymore, but I used to get mac and beef. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. No, they don't have it anymore.
No, not that. But they do have variations where you can throw different kind of proteins in mac and cheese.
But at the time, it wasn't mac and cheese. It was almost like a very slight tomato sauce. And ground beef. And I ate that every freaking day. It was it's what I had it was my dinner every day.
How often did we have every day meatballs for breakfast?
I think we created meatballs in a cup.
I think we did.
I think that because they had meatball sandwiches and we didn't want didn't want the sandwich because it was too messy to eat while we were on the air. So can we just get a cup of the meatballs? Yeah, we can do that.
And we were rocking the meatballs for the longest time.
I think we invented that.
Yeah.
And that particular Wawa actually had a griddle too, so you could get fresh made. Like none of the other Wawas that I've ever been to ever had.
It was such a
griddle there. Yeah,
had such a cool retro design. I remember it was just compared to how they are and how high tech they are now.
Yeah.
But there was a certain charm to that. That's media Wawa.
Did they make cheesesteaks there?
We only got breakfast sandwiches there, so I don't really recall.
You were like they would grill up eggs and stuff like that and make breakfast sandwiches.
No, listen, man. There are other convenience stores and other convenience store chains that are in this area that I will go to from time to time because at that time it is the most convenient. But the reality is I will go out of my way. I will pass all those other convenience stores to go to Wawa because they're just the best.
Well, if you take 7-Eleven, and I like 7-Eleven as well, but 7-Eleven is you can go in and if charcoal bouquets you might find there, or you might find oil, or you might. Wawa is more food and beverage based, predominantly.
Yes,
and so so every day. When you're getting your cup of coffee or whatever you're doing, it ends up on your radar. And to have there's one right up the road for me, and it's a glorious thing.
They do have a small automotive section, though. You can get like motor oil and
but
stuff
you
like
know,
that.
like there's.
But no, I'm just saying that's it
like
is interesting.
Paper towels you'll like at a 7-Eleven.
And I think we've talked about this before. Of the you wouldn't expect these items to be at Wawa, but they are.
They are.
I think you can get motor oil.
Yeah.
I think you can get motor oil.
It makes sense too because so many of them are now
It's a gas station. By the way, 7-Eleven is not even in the top 10. There was a day when 7-Eleven reigned supreme.
Let me ask
the
you,
Big Gulp and all that.
Is it listed as Sunoco? Because
Sunoco's not in the top 10.
Okay, because 7-Eleven merged with Sunoco.
Really? Nope. I'll give you the top 10 here. So Wawa's number 1. Yay.
Yay.
Followed by Quick Trip at 2. Quick Trips are okay.
Where would I find? Are they around here?
Mostly prisons.
Not that I know of, Case. I've gone to them out in like Virginia and Kentucky, in those areas. Buc-ee's, we were talking about.
Yes, yeah.
Buc-ee's is rising very strongly.
I had a couple of those on the drive from Philly to Colorado this summer. They're fine.
They come well recommended.
Yeah.
Murphy USA, never heard of that.
Never
That's
heard
fourth.
of that.
Casey's General Stores.
I heard of that only because driving across the country, it's they're bigger as you head out west.
With the old beef queefy.
That's number 5, and then number 6, Sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Listen, Sheets is in this eternal battle, which I think now we know the answer. Obviously, there's a clear winner.
Obviously.
But Sheets serves its purpose.
All right, then number 7 is Quick Trip, followed by number 8 is BP. Number 9 is Cumberland Farms, and then number 10 is Speedway. So no 7-Eleven and no Sunoco on there.
Is that wild?
I liked Cumberland Farms. 7-Eleven was like the nicer of the convenience store to go to where I grew up. So we only had one Wawa, and it was not close, but it was like you got to a certain age where you could ride your bike and cross the main road to get to 7-Eleven. So once you were able to do that,
right.
It was cool. You could ride your bike to 7-Eleven, get your Slurpee, and then try to make it home with the Slurpee on your bike.
You guys ever been to a Come and Go? And that's literally
I've seen the name.
Yeah, they're all over Colorado.
One of the best was there was one that went up. I think it was one in Massapequa, Long Island, when we first got married, my wife and I, and they were putting the sign up, and I'm like, "What's this going to be?"
Yeah,
because the first part of it got up, and they were putting up the second part. They were not very good.
Yeah, it's KUM.
Yeah. Yep. I passed by. There is one around here. Maybe it's like close to York, or maybe the Appalachian Trail.
You're thinking of Squirt and Shoot.
No. Because I remember taking a picture of it. And I can't remember where I was. I think it was like maybe we were at a soccer game that was really, really far away, but it was still in this area.
Do you know what wasn't mentioned? Turkey Hill.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if you go to in Lancaster, there are Turkey Hills.
Yeah, there's one in Pottstown, I think, not too far from me. But they only give the top 10, Steve. I'm sure there's a longer list that has other ones, but yeah, that would be on there. I would think.
Again, if you're talking about fairly uniform cleanliness and reliability on what you're going to get,
variety as well as far as the food goes, and now that Rochelle and I call them frou-frou coffee. Now that they have all the different, fraps and stuff like that. That is awesome. I had the milkshake not too long ago. First time ever. It was awesome.
It's pretty goddamn good. Now, listen, I see some people taking out some real hardcore drinks with whipped cream in it, and I'm like, they look great, but they've got to be like 3,000 calories.
Oh, God, yes.
I hit Wawa every day. I mean, it's on my way to work, and so I stop and get coffee and saw pretzel and apples. I get my apple slices. But Preston, one that's so Wawa for me is number 1 on the list, but by far. But one that is creeping up is Royal Farms, and there's one on your exit.
Yes.
When you go up the Northeast Extension, I like that one a lot. It's always clean, and the people that work there are super nice, and the food is pretty good.
There's one in Collegeville as well. I pass by both of those regularly, and I've only been in a couple of times. And I think their specialty is their chicken.
Fried chicken.
Yeah.
The fried chicken is pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
All right.
You'd be surprised, man. Like, again, I say, Casey, we've bonded over the Wawa burger.
Yeah.
Which I had a double burger with nothing on it.
Yep.
Coming back from an appearance, I'm like, Wawa's open, and I'm jonesing for a burger.
Kyle used to love the fact that you would say it was a very viable cheeseburger.
It was a viable cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, the word taste goes out the window, and how feasible is it?
Right.
Excuse me, I just found out I have spit in my body, and it's making me choke.
Somebody texted and said Redner's up towards Harrisburg.
Yeah, Redner's is a supermarket.
Yeah,
that's
a grocery
not
store.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I will say, like, I do have a Royal Farms near me, and again,
They're good.
That's what I talk about when I say, like, it's a convenience. If it's the most convenient at that time, but you know,
I hear you, man. You're with friends.
That and then Sheets. I don't know. It just feels it feels too corporate. I don't know.
I know.
You know what I mean?
The band. It's like in Twister. There's the corporate meteorologists and there's the regular people. Dairy barns. Did you guys had them here?
Dairy barn.
No, we had Swiss Farms.
Okay, so similar drive-through mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Dairy barns were that sort of thing.
What's the Swiss Farms quotient like in Delco? Still out and about and around, or they disappear?
No.
Because I don't get down that way though.
Yeah, good cookies.
Yeah, the only one that I know that isn't around anymore is the one that's on 252 in Media. Delco Steaks was looking to buy that, and then I think maybe it might be a drive-through coffee shop. I don't really know, but that's the only one. I know that they tried it in other areas, like they tried it in South Jersey, and it didn't take. Which I'm like, dude, you're missing out. Like, especially if you have little kids. Like for us, Swiss Farms, when we had children, was a absolute game changer.
What
and
made it
savior.
so?
Because you don't have to get out of the car.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
I thought there was a. Were there any that you could walk into?
Swiss Farms?
Yeah.
Maybe the newest one that they just built in Millmont Park, but I don't think so.
I remember the dairy barn in this is East Northport, Long Island. The guy got arrested. One of the guy's kids working it was selling pot.
Oh man!
You know, because you had the two sliding doors on both sides, and all the stuff was in there, and so it's like, man, that's a bizarre time of day for so many cars to be in line.
By the way, our friend Lori Bruce emailed a statement, I think it was to the Inquirer where this article was. It says, "We are grateful to our associates for making recognitions like this possible by continuing to deliver our purpose of fulfilling lives at our stores. And we're also thankful to our amazing customers for allowing us to serve them and create meaningful connections inside and outside our stores."
We had that lengthy discussion about people who have turned Wawa into a career and how you can ascend, right? We heard people making very good money and the company helps usher them through. That's pretty cool.
One of the things I enjoyed about my regular, I used to do a morning stop off at Wawa and for years. And it was part of my morning ritual. I changed that because I could save a little bit of time by just grabbing some stuff at home and heading out from there. So I've stopped doing it years ago. But at that time, like those were my those were my first human interactions of the day.
Your peeps.
And I got to know all of the people that worked there because they would work that graveyard shift and they'd be there at 4:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I'd come by.
You said you'd pitch in and rotate the half and half for them.
They got it. Now it did make me wonder. You remember they used to keep that little mystery squirt container of water with a little a temperature gauge in it, a thermometer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And eventually we talked about it on the air is to make sure that that all that creamer stays cold, stays properly cold.
Yeah,
so they have to check the temperature regularly. But anyway, those were my first. I got to know them on a first name basis, and we would talk regularly and kind of pseudo friends. You know,
quality of life.
Yeah.
Not just the people working there, but the people coming in to buy the coffee or get the breakfast.
Too.
Yeah, every day it's the same freaking people, which is cool.
Yep. So that's a cool feather in the cap. For Wawa.
It is a source of pride.
And I'm wondering, though, and we've had, Chris Geisen on many times, how far this is going to expand. Will it cover the entire country? Are they going to go past, the Continental Divide and head that way?
They're talking interplanetary.
Oh!
Yeah, which is an amazing thing. No, I have to imagine that at some point it's going to be nationwide.
I remember the first one I think all of us saw outside of the Delaware Valley was when we were down in spring training.
And what was the first thing you said?
Yeah.
They got tables outside. We want that.
Yeah. And some of them do.
We took a picture of us all standing in front of, look at this, we're in Florida and we're at Wawa. It was pretty awesome. But you're right. There are some subtle differences in the locations outside of our area. And like you said, outdoor seating there.
Yeah, obviously.
They also had other separate, I think they started the barista thing down there before they did up here.
The separate area, with the machines and the various, and these kind of things. Yeah, And I, by the way, I love their machine cappuccino. I love it. It's excellent.
Have you guys been to the one at the base of not the
airport? The airport one?
Well, coming north from the airport at the base of that bridge.
It's so crowded.
No. I want to avoid that at all costs. There's a Chick-fil-A there too.
Oh,
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's a little challenging to get in if you are going south towards the airport. If you're coming north from the airport, it's super easy to get into. But I went to Pearl Jam, I guess, in South Philly, and you can kind of weave your way into the Navy Yard from that direction as well. It's not the easiest to get in and out, but once you're in, like, it's a really nice Wawa, and they have a seating area. They got an alcohol section.
It is
sprawling.
The base of the Platte Bridge.
Platte Bridge, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it's got a crap load of charging stations.
it does.
Yeah.
What does this mean? I don't know what this text means. It says Wawa metal gas hoses at the Classic gives me a bad taste in my mouth. The hell
Wait,
does that
say it
mean?
again?
You're not supposed to drink from that.
Wawa metal gas hoses at the Classic.
I know what it means.
Gives me a bad taste in my mouth.
At the Cardboard Classic, they're talking about how that giant, massive, very impressive Wawa sled, they were cheating because it wasn't all cardboard tape, string, and glue.
They used metal on the sled. Okay, that has nothing to do with actual
Wawa
itself. But they were excited. We sent that video of the Wawa sled to Chris Geison's the CEO.
They loved it.
And they had it in like their shareholders meeting or something like that.
Let me ask you, I'm sorry to jump
go
in
ahead.
quickly. If you were to have, since we all have our things and our favorite things, is there a dream food item that you would like Wawa to take on for Wawa accessibility?
Fondue.
Fondue.
Yeah, maybe fondue. No,
fondue to go?
Yeah. if you can get a-
Fongo.
Yeah.
Right? Fongo.
Maybe like tacos or something.
Okay.
They have quesadillas, right?
They have breakfast burritos and quesadillas, I believe. Yeah, so they're right on the cusp of it.
Tacos, maybe some Chinese food.
I have not tried the pizza yet.
How about lobster?
I liked the pizza. I thought it was fine.
The pizza is actually, again, and they're the first to admit it. Even Chris talked about it. They took a swing at it initially, and it wasn't all that it should. But I contend, because they gave me a larger free sample, they were giving them out.
Yeah,
that pizza's pretty good.
Yeah,
it is viable.
Another viable item from Wawa. I tell you what I do miss is they have like salads and bowls that you can get, and there was one. It was like a Mediterranean bowl, and it was excellent. It was like farro and
Pharaohs.
Farro and hummus and
quinoa. Was that in there?
I'm sorry, it was quinoa. It might have been not farro, but it was quinoa and hummus and feta and all this really good stuff that I liked. And they don't make it anymore.
I remember you getting that.
There was a way that you could kind of create it on your own, but last time I was there, I tried to do it, and they didn't have all the ingredients at all.
Oh,
so
you
I
need
wish
the-
that one was still back.
You need the fast food hacker to go in and figure it out for you.
Casey?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get you. And just give me a little time to research this. And
Marissa, how many are there? Many Wawas in Philly? Are they easily accessible?
The Wawas that are in
Center City?
Philly are no longer there as much anymore.
They remember, was it COVID? They closed a lot of them because of the theft and violence.
A lot of looting.
That's
There
right.
was one on Market Street and 20th. There was one on Broad and Walnut. Those have since closed. The one in Fairmount just recently closed.
The Spring Garden one closed.
Yeah.
And plus, there's no gas component to those two.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that's standard procedure to every single one has a gas component now.
Yeah, they
you
were
know?
the one.
I don't
In
know.
fact, the one that they opened up that relatively short amount of time and then closed it again was predominantly because of theft. But you're right, Preston. The gas component is. I think. Are they even building? I mean, besides the outlier, are they even building any Wawas without gas?
Not new ones.
Yeah.
Unless it's in the city.
There is one unique one. It is right it's right behind the Clothespin building. It's on 15th and like right off Market.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's more of a like walk up.
Okay.
So I know there's one in
walk up.
University City that only has the kiosks that you just order from. But then this one, I think you can actually like order ahead on the app and then like pick up your sandwich through the window.
Remember, there's the Wawa drive-through in Bucks County. They opened that kind
Yes.
of like
Jersey as well.
test.
That's mostly their like cafe stuff and things at the window.
I'm not exactly sure. It's in Morrisville. I've never been there.
I will say, because we're talking about all the food and stuff that they offer, but The fact that most Wawas have bathrooms is a huge thing.
I love that.
When I found that out, especially the Wawa heading up to Jack Frost, when we're doing that, you take that long run and you have to take a monster piss.
I know one for sure that doesn't have it, and it's the one in Conshohocken at the Twisty
one?
23 right there. Conshohocken State Road, is that what it is? Yeah, so my buddy Steve had the squirts.
Oh, that's right.
And we stopped first at McDonald's there, and they were closed.
That's right.
When is McDonald's ever closed?
Never.
And then we went to Wawa, and I'm like, it's an older one. I'm not sure. He goes in, he comes right back out. There's no goddamn bathroom here. Went to the, I think it's Sunoco station next to it. Went over there. They were having plumbing problems.
Oh, God. Did you go in the Marriott?
Went to the Marriott.
He did? That's where he went?
Yes. We had to
You have to.
You had to run
right
in.
in.
What's that restaurant that's in the bottom of that Marriott? It was like a steakhouse.
Oh, yeah. It was. They used to have a great brunch there.
And Kathy, correct me if you're exactly right. And they used to have like skulls, the long boats up on the on the ceiling.
I don't know
It was a great brunch.
What's still there?
I'm going to go to a couple of calls coming in. If you're just tuning in, Wawa placed #1 on the list as America's favorite convenience stores. I hope the world knows that its origins are in the Philadelphia region.
If this information had only come out prior to the vice presidential debates, that would have been mentioned clearly.
I'm going to go to Rob on the air. Hi, Rob. Good morning.
Yo, good morning, bitches.
Good morning, bitch. All right, it says here you live in Southeast Florida.
Yeah, I'm in the Jupiter area, but when I first moved down here about 4 years ago, I was meeting up with my landlord at the airport, and he says, yeah, there's a gas station. They're starting to pop up everywhere, but just meet me at the Wawa. Taking Uber from the airport to the Wawa, and I'm from Havertown, and I'm like, Wawa? Hell yeah.
I'm home.
And now they've popped up everywhere, right, Rob?
Oh, man, like every 95 exit, it's like from really the whole east coast of Florida, but like I'm a truck driver down here, so I really do like Stewart all the way down to the Florida Keys, and all the way down to Miami really is a Wawa, like every other 95 exit. But the only thing is I was really disappointed to find out that pretty much all the Wawas that I go to do not have any hot dogs.
Yeah, I got an email from a guy that said the same thing. South Florida Wawas don't sell hot dogs. Nothing beats a hot dog out of the warmer. I missed them, and this guy named James emailed me, said the exact same thing.
All right, well, how about pretzels, Rob?
The pretzels are good. They're not the same. The rolls, I mean, pretty much all the Wawas down here are like cookie cutter, so it really was pretty nostalgic walking into the one down here. But the pretzels are good. They have the same stuffed pretzels, all that stuff.
Oh, I love those. Love those friggin' things.
Hey, Rob, real quick, do they have Wawas in the Keys?
Not that I know of. I really only go down as far as like Marathon. I don't think I've ever seen one. It's mainly like racetracks and BP stuff like that. Which racetrack is a good alternate or a better, like Sunoco type gas station. But a lot of places also down here, they're building up a lot of Cumberland Farms, which are like not as nice as Wawa food-wise.
Yeah.
But they're so clean. Like, you could lick the toilet seat in a
I do.
Farm.
By the way, Rob, is it Racetrack or Speedway that you're talking about?
Racetrack. There's
It's
a
okay.
gas station down here called Racetrack. But I do remember Speedway, like growing up in Havertown, there was a couple Hess that I think turned into Speedway or whatever. So
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Rob. Appreciate you checking in from Florida, man.
Thanks. See ya.
Take care, Bob. We'll see you later. Hang on a second. Let me go to Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock.
Thank you, Brandon. What's up, buddy?
So I travel down the Outer Banks with my family on vacation every few years. It's been a while since we've been down there. We usually drive down 13. We hit the one. There's a Wawa in Virginia Beach. It's actually Virginia Beach is loaded with Wawas. So we just hit the one right over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Virginia. It was past summer. We went down there. We get there. We fuel up, grab some snacks. We go down. We're driving down. We get into the Outer Banks. We cross over to Sound. And there used to be a Kmart in Kitty Hawk or Kill Devil Hills. And I look over, I was like, oh, they finally turned it into a Target. And then I look up and I'm like, there's an effing Wawa. Dude, They opened one up in the Outer Banks. It's the only one south, I think, of Virginia Beach.
So that must have been the Wawa that the Wright brothers went to.
What's crazy about that is you go in Jersey and you go north and it stops at like mid-Jersey. So we're going all the way down to Florida. You're in North Carolina and then like you can't find a Wawa.
I think it's
past like Brick.
The concentration of competitors who are probably trying to power play Wawa out of the area.
Yeah.
And Casey, you'll love this. The lady working the counter moved out of Delco in the 70s.
Wow. There you go. And she probably knows you, Casey.
All right, Brandon. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
We'll see you.
Dude, okay. Just a side Delco story. I was in Michigan State this weekend. We were tailgating with these people. They were from Michigan. And the one lady, she's like, oh, I know somebody from the Philadelphia area. And she's like, we keep saying this thing about, she's like, is it Delco or something? And I was like, oh my God! I'm the unofficial mayor of Delco.
That's great. Someone get security.
All right, Nick has been on hold for 20 minutes.
Oh.
Let me go to him. Hi, Nick. Thanks for hanging on, man.
Hey, what's up? Love you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it, buddy. What'd you want to tell us?
It was called mac and beef, is what you were talking about with the red sauce with the hamburger.
Yep.
I used to order it literally every day after school.
So was it like Nick? Was it like sort of like a beefaroni kind of vibe, or
It was basically exactly the same as beefaroni. It was just instead of the spiral noodles, it was like the curved noodles, like mac and cheese.
Yeah, it was like elbow macaroni.
I can be down with that.
But the sauce was a little thinner, Steve.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like a thick red sauce. I miss that, Nick.
Dude, you and me both. I actually make it at home.
Oh, really?
Because I miss it. Yeah.
You make it at home.
You know what?
Yeah, try
Here's the
that.
deal. You guys need to convince because we have pull. They need to bring that back. What is it called?
I think it's called mac and beef. I think I've mentioned it to Lori and Chris in the past.
And you see, they got right on that
from the corporate.
My go-to now, though, would have to be an Italian bagel melt.
An Italian bagel melt.
An Italian bagel. You just get Italian hoagie and just put it on a bagel instead.
By the way, we love your dialect.
Yeah, I feel like-
You are quintessential, and we love it.
I feel like we need Nick to do like a station ID for us
because
or
he's
for our show.
He's real deal.
You got the thickest Philly accent I've ever heard, Nick.
Yeah, where are you from, Nick?
I'm actually from Gloucester City.
Wow. Okay.
Gloucester City, New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. You've synthesized nicely, man. It's fun to watch or to listen to you talk because you're nailing them all.
Yeah.
So I think you both need to start the campaign to get this dish back on the Wawa menu. At least they could pop it into that hidden vault menu.
Oh, that's right.
Right, make that a little thing. You know about that, Nick? Right? You can go and if you go to the
actually, I didn't.
If you go to the touch screen, there's like a vault you can go into.
That's true.
No, there was for
It
a little
is?
bit.
Yeah.
It was legit. By the way, Nick, describe that the sandwich you get again. What is it?
What I do is I order a regular Italian hoagie, and then when it gives you the option, I toast it.
Yep.
And then I toast whole sandwich, and then instead of putting it on like a shorty or a classic roll,
Yeah.
I'll put it on either a plain bagel or an everything bagel.
That's I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could choose bagels. I'm sorry to.
We don't carry bagels.
That sounds really good. You get cheese on that too, Nick?
Yeah, I get provolone on it, and usually tomato.
He's the best.
sounds really
Nick's
good.
the best. Let me ask you guys, given your druthers, whenever you order a sandwich from the deli there in Wawa, do you get it toasted?
If I have time, yes.
Yeah.
Depends on the sandwich.
I can't have a sandwich from Wawa without it being toasted.
That's
I
a
agree.
grinder, by the way.
Do you do the whole thing toasted or just the bun, Nick?
The whole thing.
I do the whole thing too.
Do you get any mustard on that or on your bagel?
No, usually not. I usually don't.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, Nick, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for the call, bud.
You too. Love you guys.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later.
Nick is awesome.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
I got to get an Italian bagel today.
I toast the whole sandwich. Yeah.
Well, okay, so hang on a second.
That's a grinder, and you're right. When you heat it up.
Yeah, when you heat the whole thing, that's called a grinder.
Or a sub.
But I'm wondering if you're doing bagel, what that would categorize as. Would that be a shorty or a junior?
It's not.
Do you know what
Neither.
I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's listed separately then.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when you order it, like, do you order?
What do you go under?
Yeah, like what comes up first, the size or the type of bread?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
On the menu?
I don't know.
I
I'd have to go through a menu right now.
I'm going to try on my app.
Yeah, I would try everything
good
bagel.
idea.
I use the Wawa app all the time.
I have started
under bagels.
doing that, Nick,
Yeah.
per you. And I don't do it around me because it's usually I'm already out and about and I'm going to stop by. I don't make plans at the house to go by Wawa usually. But when we were at the shore and we were getting ready to leave Wildwood off the island, there's the doo-wop Wawa on the way out. And that thing gets busy all the time. Yep. So I use the app, order ahead of time, pop in, grab it, gone, already paid for.
So
it's
smart.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's really convenient, and the rewards add up really easy. They changed the whole system for the rewards. It used to be like I don't know, just the way you accumulated them was different. But now I have
It was in rupees.
What's that?
It was in rupees, right?
No, it's points.
Okay.
And now I have 1,036 reward points, and that will get me. I'm close to a classic hoagie.
Ooh, that's cool.
But I can still get a shorty hoagie.
By the way, here's a text that says, hang on a second here. They need to bring back circular chicken pucks for the chicken parm sandwiches. When those things dropped in the fall of 03, it was magical.
The fall of 03.
I am not familiar with this.
Remember?
Do you know what I will say, though? It's just a little bit of reality here. Their hot dogs are fine, but I think they could up their hot dog game a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
And it really has to do with they serve it on the quasi sandwich bread roll. And I would prefer a straight up hot dog bun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it.
They serve it on a sandwich.
I don't know
bread
what they call
roll?
that roll. At least the ones I've been in.
Like a hoagie?
The hot dog comes in. You know, sometimes there's a roll that looks like a piece of folded bread.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
And I would prefer a straight up bun.
You know what I kind of like is the New England bun.
Oh, I love that.
That sometimes you'll get a lobster roll with. And I've had hot dogs with those before. Those are pretty good.
So we used to go to Howard Johnson's all the time for dinner because kids ate free. I just found this out. I'm like, why do we go there all the time? Oh, because you guys ate free.
Yeah.
And I always got the hot dog, and it was always in that New England style bun. I think I prefer that over any.
You can toast the outside of it, which is pretty cool.
So, Casey, to answer your question about ordering online with bagels, they are different. They fall under a different bread choice. So you can do regular hot hoagie, specialty sandwiches, that kind of thing. You can also do wraps. Steve, the pizza's here.
Yeah.
Burritos, quesadillas. Casey, you mentioned those as well. But anyway, if you want a bagel sandwich, you have to order that separately.
Do they have a subsection listed as viable, Nick? Or
here,
viable or viable menu items.
Yeah, so dinner after 4 p.m. /viable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pizza and burgers.
Well,
yeah, and they are.
Congrats all the way around to Wawa for this big honor, the #1 convenience store in America, and the crowd goes wild. So I thought that was definitely worth highlighting here this morning. By the way, I thought this was fun when we interviewed The Warning, the band.
Yeah,
when they were at MMR.
Oh yeah,
their bus's name is Wawa. But they've never heard of the Wawa convenience store before.
Where did they get it from?
They didn't get a clear story
Well,
on
she
that.
goes, I forget which band member said it, but our parents are in the Wawa. We thought they're going to get coffee or something.
Yeah.
They're in the bus.
Yeah.
Canadian Goose, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Nick, by the way, my daughter's actually listening while at Michigan State right now, and she said, I have 2,098 Wawa points. Get on my level, Nick.
I'm impressed.
Step up.
Wait, real quick, though. Does she have the option of going to a Wawa anytime soon, or she have to? Because there's none in Michigan.
Well, she's got to stockpile them then.
Yeah. So when she comes home, we'll hang out.
Yeah, she go. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. When we return, some guests on the program. Sean Cannon, who's from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid 3 film. He and his wife, Michelle, have a book out. They're going to be on with this really cool character who plays Mike Barnes. And we're also going to talk about Rocky Fest 2024 with somebody who's going to share all that info. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
You have to give him 2 minutes to just laugh.
Yeah.
Because he's so good. He was just, I'm like, I got to break this dude. But he was such a really good actor, man.
Guys, let's give it up for Lil Rel Howery.
Thank God for having me.
I noticed that there was another video that was released from Pastor Jesse Duplantis.
Our favorite, the jet and pastor.
That is absolutely correct. And, he still wants his new private jet. But he wants to make it clear that he's not actually asking anybody for money.
Listen to these verbal gymnastics that he's doing here. I think even he's surprised at how much this caught on because it just sort of swept across. It became a viral meme. And where these guys, it'd be easier to get away with this stuff maybe 10 years ago. And now it was just all over the place. It was on the national news. He was asking for his $54 million jet.
Yeah.
And we played audio of him walking down the hallway of his establishment there, his church, for whatever he calls it, pointing to the different jets he's owned. He has had 3 before. He needs this 4th $54 million jet that carries a lot of fuel, so he won't have to stop as he's spreading the word of the Lord.
That's it. So here's a couple of clips, and let's see what he has to say about not actually asking for money.
He didn't ask for money.
Here we go.
I'm not asking you to pay for my plane. The Lord said, I didn't ask you to pay for it. I asked you to believe for it. I don't dupe nobody. I've always been honest. 40 years I've been preaching this gospel, and I've never had a scandal. And this is not a scandal. I'm not discouraged. I'm not distressed. In fact, I am excited. I've never had this much press in my life. Well, that's negative. It don't make no difference.
And it's negative. It don't make no difference.
Don't make no difference.
So he's asking.
I am excited about all this negative press painting me as a money-sucking prick.
Yeah. So he said, I asked you to believe for it.
Believe for it.
Not to pay for it.
Now, if your method of believing involves your checkbook, I'm absolutely happy with that.
He had said, I never raised money for the plane. I put it in our magazine and said, believe God with me. He said there's a vast difference between believe in God and asking for money.
He's a Journey song, Preston. Don't stop believing.
Yeah. In the earlier video,
I'm just a small town preacher living in a lonely world.
He could turn it around.
Yeah, could turn it around.
Yeah, he used to take the train everywhere.
Yeah, but I took a 54 million jet going anywhere.
So, without further ado,
WMMR presents Bucksco versus Delco.
Here we go, gang. This is going to be the final round today. Actually, 2 rounds of competition, same contest, but we are going to make this whole thing happen and finish it up today, and we are going to crown a victor, and that's all there is to it.
Before we get to the final event, here is a recap of the events leading up to this epic showdown. Listen, the week started off with Operation Evac, a race where the contestants were blindly dropped into enemy territory. Kathy started at Casey's golf course, Paxton Hollow in Delco, and Casey in Bucksco at Kathy's alma mater, Pennsbury. Now, without using GPS, they had to navigate their way to their home base.
Just go straight. Thank you. Okay, go straight. Peel wheel.
I feel like there's probably another road this way.
While Casey was stuck in traffic on the turnpike,
That could work in our favor.
Kathy was able to navigate back to Bucks County, earning her 200 points.
It's a bunch of crap!
For day 2, both contestants needed a call for reinforcements. Kathy asked her best friend, Elisa, a.k.a. Queen Bee, and Casey brought in his big brother, Dave, a.k.a. Foz. The contestants and their partners mind-melded, then competed in a thrilling match of the Pyramid Game.
All right, this is where the U.S. Open was? Oh, that's, Aronimink. No. Oh, Marion, sorry. That's the one you just said? Marion. No, the other one. Aronimink.
In the end, Kathy got an even bigger lead with 430 points, but Casey was right at her heels with 320 points. Day 3 brought us into the skies. We blindfolded Kathy and Casey, flew them in a helicopter over an unidentified spot in their respective county, and they had 30 seconds to guess what town they were hovering over. Casey had some difficulty figuring it out, earning 200 points.
I guess Knowlton is in media.
That's correct! Yes, you got it! But Kathy got it on her first try, bringing in an additional 300 points.
I'm going to say Ben Salem.
That is absolutely correct.
Day 4 was a doubleheader. Kathy and Casey went head-to-head in a county spelling bee, and then had to answer questions from Delco versus Bucksco from 5 years ago. Casey must have done his homework, because he was finally able to pull ahead. And so, the totals going into the final day: Kathy, 1,030. Casey, 1,170.
Casey is leading in the competition so far. So I defer to Casey to decide who gets to go first.
Ladies first.
All right,
So I will
ladies
go.
first is what we're going to do. So, Kathy, taking a look at the categories, which one would you like to begin with? Geography and transportation, sports, entertainment, schools and education, shopping, landmarks, history, or food and drink?
I guess I'll go shopping.
Shocker! I know. And how much would you care to wager in that particular category?
I'm going to go 50 points.
Kathy, what outdoor shopping area between New Hope and Doylestown hosts a place called Giggleberry Farm?
New Hope and Doylestown. I'm going to say Peddler's Village.
And that's correct for 50 points.
I don't know
Kathy.
what Giggles whatever is, but...
Casey, it is your turn. What category do you want to go with next?
Let's go sports.
Sports.
And I will go sports for 60.
All right, sports for 60 points. Here we go. Casey, your question. In Newtown Square, a famous heir lived on a large piece of land where he hosted a wrestling camp for Olympic athletes. What is his name?
DuPont.
Yes, that is correct.
Well done.
Okay, let's go schools and education for 50 points, Preston.
All right.
Schools and education for 50 points.
All right. Kathy, what is the Council Rock North mascot?
Oh.
Council Rock North mascot. The mascot one would find at that school.
I don't know. The Rock.
Okay, so you're going to go with The Rock?
I'm going to go with The Rock.
That's incorrect. They are the Indians.
I did not know
Indians.
Go, Rock. Go.
What year did the Springfield Mall open?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, why couldn't you ask me what year
He didn't.
Target opened?
Just ask it. Just answer.
Kathy's very supportive.
This is the history of your county, man.
I know. And Target opened in 2005. But, you know,
Well, can you use that?
Wanamaker's closed in 95. Hex opened after that.
You did study. You lied to me.
No, my mom quizzed me last night. We were eating chili, and she asked me lots of trivia.
We're eating chili.
We're eating chili.
Yeah.
Meet you in the basement. I'm bringing a pen.
I mean, the first Wawa opened in 1964.
Okay, yeah, let's get to the
I
ball.
will say.
If you got this right.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw out a number there. I'm going to go with the year I was born, 1975.
Oh, my God.
No, it was 74. Dude, you were so close. All right, you call no fair on that because it was before you were born?
No, I'm not going to call no. It was just that's a difficult question.
This historic restaurant is located along the Delaware River in historic Bristol Borough and has hosted both kings and presidents.
Yep. I've been there.
Once again, this historic restaurant located along the Delaware River in historic Bristol
My mom is going to kill me.
Borough.
That's a weird name for a restaurant.
And has hosted both kings and
Oh, my God. What is
presidents.
it called?
No, go to your happy place.
I know where it is. I know where I sat last time I was there.
Kathy handles stress very well.
She knows I love it when she yells.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Cracks me up. Mm-hmm. All right, think about it. Think
I
about
know.
Work from your seat
Man,
backwards.
it's like there's like a little hill when you walk in. It's a little railing outside. Statue.
Miss Romano is here. Welcome to.
I don't even know if this. I'm gonna say Georgine's.
Georgine's.
Yeah.
That's incorrect. You're going to kill yourself over this one. It's King George.
Yes! It is! I have a gift card in my wallet for that place!
King George the what?
The second.
King George the second. I've not been.
Yeah.
So have you been
Yeah, it's
We should
beautiful.
just carry on a discussion. I've been there!
I like the
I've been
statue.
there!
Yeah, the statue and the railing are really nice.
Oh, man. I mean, like, I can picture it to a T. Exactly
All right.
where I sat. My mom gave me a gift card.
You have a gift
I wish my mom quizzed me last night.
All right, so I have already closed out sports and I've closed out history.
No, you haven't. You haven't done any history.
Well, yes, I have. All of my shopping questions were freaking history questions.
Oh, my.
Wow. This
Thank
is
you.
what we've been
Thank
waiting
you.
for.
Yes.
Impugning the contest itself.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen.
It was good, though, right? What year was this thing? What? Stupid questions. Let's go food and drink. Maybe
Food and drink.
Food and drink.
Food and
For
drink.
how much?
For 50.
Food and drink for 50.
Preston's not even picking
Come on,
his
man.
head
That was
up.
a good joke.
Okay. All right. You get this wrong. You get this wrong. And this, if you lose this whole thing, this is all your fault.
Okay.
All right. You ready for this?
I better be a softball.
A large Pika's pizza.
Oh my God! Costs how much?
Is cut into how many slices?
Oh, okay. That's a really, really crap question.
A large Pika's pizza is cut into
you can
how many
do a little
slices?
diagram, whatever you want to do.
There's the box.
Round. And
It's a
then there's
rectangular
lines.
shape, right, Case?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's drawing.
All right, so that is that's a Neapolitan, right, or is it Sicilian square?
No, they just do their own version. They put the sauce on top of the cheese.
12.
Right.
Casey says 12. Damn right you got that right. And what did you wager on that?
50.
1,000 points.
The scores are as follows. Bucks County, 1,070 points. Delaware County, 830 points. But there's ground to be made up here. And we're on to round 2. Now, things are going to change quite a bit in this particular round. Our categories are going to remain the same. In the past, you've been able to pick your own category and pick your own wager up to 100 points. This time, I thought it'd be kind of nice because you guys have been avoiding certain categories. How about you pick your competitor's category and your competitor's wager in this round? Kathy's leading, and she gets to go first, and you get to pick the category that Casey will choose from and how much Casey will wager in that category.
Okay, I'm going to go history
Okay? Of
course.
for 50.
All right, history 450. All right, Casey. Delaware County was formerly a part of which other Pennsylvania county?
I believe Chester County.
Your answer is Chester County.
Very much, Kathy. Case, what's the status here? It's 10
I
after,
have
it's
no
11 after. We're
Yeah.
supposed to have an interview now.
We're supposed to. I don't know. I haven't been given any status on why he's late, but I will get on that ASAP.
Okay, well, I'll mention a couple of things that are going on. Actually, you know what? I have some
The mentioner?
chart outs.
Oh, charts.
and
Okay.
Things like that I can do real quick. And actually, a thank you to Mark Pingator, who had written in and actually, I'll read this to you. He said, "Hey, Preston, Steve, I had a customer request a skateboard of the Garbage Pail Kids art that I did for the show and wanted to send you guys one too, as well as a thank you for all of the entertainment you provide every day."
Oh, that's great.
And he said, if anyone, and he does the the Garbage Pail Kids art.
Yeah.
He does this, and he created our show in the Garbage Pail Kids form. I said, if anyone out there wants to see my art in person, I'll be set up at Monster Mania in Baltimore, October 4th through the 6th, and in Oaks, November 8th through the 10th. Plus, I post lots of updates on my Instagram, and it's Magic Mark Art. So you can find him there, Magic Mark, which is spelled, MARKE. Marker Art. That's it.
There
I'm sorry.
you go.
Magic Marker Art. So I have the skateboard.
By the way, Monster Mania Con, fantastic. And the one in Oaks is a mind blower. Friend of the show, Dave, runs all that, does a great
I
job.
don't know if I've shown this to you guys or not, but this is the
Dude,
skateboard.
that looks awesome.
Isn't that fantastic?
That looks awesome.
I love my big head that's tipped over.
So thank you very much for that. Mark Pingator. We'll find a wonderful place to hang this up somewhere in our hallway, I think. That would fit perfectly.
Does Kathy have a mustache in that, too?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
Kathy's mustache.
Oh, there's Marissa. I was wondering where Marissa was. She's in the mousetrap.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I'm covered in cats.
So thank you very much, Mark. That was cool of you. Then a butt plug request, and this is from our buddy Sammy Vile. And he says, hey, I was wondering to give a butt plug for an event this Sunday. My buddy Tom Curtis Jr. putting together a Hurricane Helene relief concert.
It's very nice.
To help raise funds for those affected by this bitch Helene. It is this Sunday, October 6th at Sher-e-Punjab in Media. And it goes from 3 to midnight. Loads of local artists, including me. He said, but don't let that stop you from coming. And you can make a donation at the concert or send it via Venmo to @Tom Curtis Jr. The payment description is Hurricane Helene Relief, and all proceeds will go to Samaritan's Purse, and that is to help out people who are affected by Hurricane Helene. So he says, love Sammy Vile, and how can she slap?
Very generous.
But John Fay is playing there. I'm scanning. It's a huge list of musicians that are going to be performing. So they're getting together for a fundraiser, which would be great if it could help out. My mom, my sister, my cousin, they all got affected really badly by the hurricane. So hopefully you can help out if possible. All right. Our guests ready to go?
Yeah.
Via phone line. We have them on right now, and they're on to talk about a book. It's called Way of the Cobra Couples, which is pretty cool. So
I suspected it would be good for couples as well.
You've heard me talk about Cobra Kai many times on the show. Just absolutely love it. And the character of Mike Barnes returning to this show on a couple of different occasions has been so much fun. And we have the man who actually played him in the movie and plays him on the show, along with his wife. Please welcome, first of all, Sean Cannon to the program.
Yeah.
And his lovely wife, Michelle.
Yay.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on. Huge fan, Sean, and just so happy that show has turned out to be what it is. So entertaining, so much fun, and bringing back every single person you could ever imagine from any of those films, and done in a great way. You have had so much fun at that show.
Oh my God, it was incredible to after 35 years to be able to reprise a role. Because you just don't think you're ever going to get another bite at the apple like that. And it was an amazing experience. And I've always joked that if I've got one really great talent as an actor, it's grabbing on coattails bigger than me. Started with the General Hospital universe and the Bold and the Beautiful universe and the Miyagi verse. So.
Yeah, well, I think you're knocking yourself a little bit. Certainly, you have the talent to do it. I want to ask you about the application of martial arts and about what you've learned in life and how that has affected this Way of the Cobra. And you can pre-order wayofthecobra.com. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So, yeah, martial arts has had a really profound effect on my life. For those people that aren't familiar with our books, COBRA is an acronym. It stands for character, optimization, balance, respect, and abundance. And we had such success with the first two books. And Michelle and I knew we wanted to write something together. We said, why don't we take all of these philosophies and apply it to a book about finding the person for you, about being in a couple that is something that really feeds your soul and helps you both move forward. And so once again, it's our dojo, and I'm the sensei, but this time Michelle is my co-sensei because relationships take two different perspectives.
You know what, and Michelle, I want to ask, because you guys do emphasize that you're not licensed therapists. This is not your profession, yet you feel comfortable in passing along these things that you have observed and put into your lives and had success with?
Right. So when Sean and I met, I was getting divorced, and I had 4 teenagers. So I met Karate's bad boy, and of course, on paper, that looked like a match made in heaven. Mm-hmm. And we promptly got together and had to go through a custody battle, and then deal with, Sean rolling around with a bunch of women on daytime TV every day. And, if we could stay together through all of that, anybody could do it. So we thought we would just pass along some of our stories and some of our tips. And, the book isn't just about finding that one. It's about turbocharging the one you're with.
Absolutely.
I can say this. I think a lot of times we default to, obviously, quote-unquote experts and therapists who actually haven't really employed what they're teaching. This is anecdotal evidence from your own lives and your own successes, and I think it's been put to the test. So I think it carries gravitas.
Right.
Yeah, and listen, I think sometimes it's like the iceberg theory, where you see the tip of the iceberg sticking out of the water, and you don't see that it's probably 5 times deeper going downward into the ocean. And I think sometimes people look at maybe me and Michelle and go, wow, those guys really got it together. Let me tell you something. We have a relationship like anybody else. We call it a bench clear. Probably about once a month we have a real good screaming match. Get everything out. Michelle's Sicilian and she's not the yeller. So
I love it when people think that he's the handful.
So, look, we have a relationship like anybody else, and we're just two people that love each other and are finding solutions on a daily basis to not only make our relationship terrific, but also maintain our own individual identities within it. Because, I have to say that it would be probably very easy for a lesser person to get consumed by the quote-unquote Sean show. And, it's really important for me that Michelle, who's got so much talent and so many things going on in her life, exclusive from me, continues to, retain all of that and doesn't just become like this supporting player in my life.
Well, one of the things that Preston keeps pointing out about the show, and he's, huge Cobra Kai fan, and I caught, the first season, and I admit I have to jump in and catch more of it, but it keeps coming back and telling me the characters that may have been loathed or despised or had one note are now fleshed out, and you're seeing different layers of people, and so that sort of pertains to what you're talking about here as well. Is everyone has good moments and bad moments, and seeing that overall picture will suit you well in your life.
Absolutely. It's an interesting metaphor. I mean, obviously coming back to Cobra Kai 35 years later, I'm a guy that's been now acting for 35 years and a man that's been living in this world for 35 years. And it's the same with, this book. When Michelle met me, she was right. I was a bit of a wild child, and now I am the father of 5 kids, married to the love of my life for more than 13 years now. And, people evolve. And if you're not evolving, then that's something you need to take a look at it.
Have your kids had a chance to read the book?
They actually have. And they really like it. And
they paid for it, right?
Yeah, you can't be giving out freebies to 5 people.
Lecture, guys.
Yeah.
Trying to move product.
When inmates outnumber the guards, you really have to keep order in the house. But
So I tell everybody, please buy the book. We got 5 kids.
Well, Sean, I have to ask you because, and I don't know if this is true. You talk about your wild days, what Michelle brought up, and sort of living a bachelor's life. Did you? Around the time of the Karate Kid 3 audition, were you living in an apartment above the Whiskey A Go-Go?
Yes, I was indeed.
Wow.
I mean, holy hell.
Wow.
Yeah. So what do you think that was like? 22 years old, single, little money in my pocket, living above the Sunset Strip. You do the math.
Oh, my God.
Well, he told me that he was going to the library and working with blind children waiting for me. I totally believe him.
I got blind drunk in front of the library is what I said.
Did you befriend any rock stars in those years, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, apparently Motley Crue at some point lived in my same building. I mean, I was a fixture at the China Club in Hollywood, which had, tons of rock stars. I mean, it was a bit of free-for-all during those years.
So you can see how me, being a carpool mom, have such commensurate stories. And we have so much in common. This is why I was like, yeah, of course this is going to work.
But you know what? I mean, it actually dovetails back into something we talk about in the book. I have no regrets. I mean, I'm not going to be one of those guys who's 60 and says, gosh, I wish I did this, that, or the other. I feel like I'm stuck in this relationship. I'm very happy that I made the mistakes I made when I was young and did the crazy things I did, because when you grow as a person, they're no longer mistakes. They're no longer failures and wasted youth. They're all teachers.
I think what he's trying to say is, when we first got together and he was like, we need to get married. And I was like, are you sure that this is, and he was like, yeah, we're doing this. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, it's really funny that you think that I love you in spite of all of this madness and craziness that is so outside my wheelhouse. But I actually love you because of that stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. You never hear it expressed that way. You loved him for who he is, the total thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so interesting, and you both have sort of quasi mentioned this. With your past or whatever, give yourself permission to be human. Give yourself permission to have made mistakes because it led you to the person that you are, Sean, and led you to the person that you are, Michelle, right?
Right, exactly. And, who you show up as in the relationship is what's the most important. I mean, nobody can really know who anybody is, but who you show up as every day. We say you throw on the jersey and get to work. And in our book, we have this thing called the day meter. And our day meter is, look, I've only got 20% today, so don't expect a lot from me. And then you just throw on your jersey and you're like, okay, I've got 80% and, I'm going to pick up your 20 for you. No, that's cool. Go ahead. It's all about communication.
Yeah, I think also, it goes back to what I was saying before. Look, everybody's life is messy.
Mm-hmm.
We all try and, have as structured a life as possible and, sometimes put on that image of the shiny penny. But, when you see how the sausage is made, you realize that everybody has got stuff they're dealing with, whether it's from the outside world or within the relationship or within yourself.
Right.
And it's a process. And as long as you keep working at it, it's always going to be messy.
I mean, one of the things that we really, really wanted to stress is that this book isn't about how to fix your relationship because there's nothing wrong with your relationship. You got to find what's right with your relationship and lean into it.
That makes sense. We
do that every day, and this is about how to make your relationship amazing and turbocharge it, not how to fix tiny little flaws. You're always going to find something wrong. If you go looking for something wrong, you're going to find it. If you go looking for something that's right, you're going to find it.
Let me ask you, Sean, and to that point, with the adulation that you get on the show, and Michelle, you having to deal with that, I was watching some of these fan groups from around the world for the Karate Kid movies, for Cobra Kai, and you've traveled a bit. Where's the most far flung place where you've been recognized as the prick from Karate Kid 3?
Well, I mean, look, I thought joining the cast of Bold and the Beautiful gave me kind of a wide reach as an actor because it's distributed in probably 40 or 50 countries. But, Cobra Kai has just become this juggernaut, worldwide phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And it's really kind of everywhere I go.
It's usually when we're in the middle of a domestic.
No, manifest is when my wife's yelling at me to put the toilet seat down and take the garbage out. Suddenly, I'm not karate's bad boy. Or the heartthrob from Beautiful.
It doesn't matter.
One last question before let you guys go. Sean, the Mike Barnes character was absolutely integral in the final couple of episodes of season 5. Leads me to the question, will you be in season 6, and can you tip your hand to that?
Well, I am in season 6.
You are.
The first tranche of episodes came out in
June.
The hell am I talking about?
I am in those, and unfortunately, they made me sign that pesky NDA.
Of course.
If we see Mike Barnes again, but I've watching Cobra Kai.
I had totally forgotten that they'd split up the season.
I hate that.
I was thinking that was the end of season 5.
Yeah.
It was only the first half of season 6, so my apologies. All right, well, we'll keep looking for you, Sean.
Thank you. Please do. And if not, you can just watch me on CBS, The Bold and the Beautiful.
Done and done. The new book is called Way of the Cobra Couples, and there's a whole series of them, and you can just go to wayofthecobra.com. Great work, guys. Thanks for joining this morning. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right, Sean and Michelle Cannon, guys, right there. Love it. I forgot. I thought that was the end of the season.
And I hate that because it throws you off. That's what, more often than not, leads you to watch, as you did, Kathy, the end of the bear
instead of the start of the series. All right, well, that's cool. Well, listen, we're going to continue on to yet another rags to riches story, like the Karate Kid.
Same director.
Same director. So the Philadelphia Visitor Center has announced that this event is going to take place in December. Rocky Fest is happening, ladies and gentlemen. And we have the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Visitor Center here with us. Please welcome Catherine Ott.
Hey, guys.
Hello. Hello, Catherine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks so much for having me.
Our pleasure. We're excited about this. First of all, the Rocky Day event that took place, that was earlier this year.
It was December 3rd of 23.
I'm sorry, last year. And it would look like so much fun. You guys had all this great press, and there was a wonderful setup at the base of the Art Museum steps. But clearly, that was successful and has led you to this, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We opened the Parkway Visitor Center and Rocky Shop at the base of the Art Museum steps right next to the statue where, millions of people from all over the world come every year. And when we opened that shop and found out that Stallone was going to come to the opening, we asked City Council to name it Rocky Day forevermore in the city of Philadelphia. December 3rd is the day that Rocky was released in 1976.
Yeah, I saw it on opening day. Yeah.
And it was a hurricane. We had like torrential downpour that day, but we had about 3,000 people out there in spite of it. And it was pretty magical. So literally the next day, like the mummers, we just woke up and said, wow, we've got to do something bigger and better next year, all leading up to the 50th anniversary of Rocky, which is 2026. So our country's semi-quincentennial celebration and the 50th anniversary.
Well, as you remember, that was a big part of the whole whole plot of Rocky was that celebration.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. Sometimes we are maligned for one of your most famous, individuals or people to be associated with the city is a fictional character. But we also have the founding fathers and some other people we can hang our hats on.
Yeah.
But why not? Rocky is such a great character. We are massive fans of Stallone's. One of our best interviews ever that we love. Carl Weathers in the studio. It's just amazing. So this should have been happening for years, but I'm so glad it's happening now.
Well, and the fact that all these years later, without even Rocky Day, you drive by the Art Museum at any time of day.
Or night.
People are up there doing the hands in the air, running up the steps, the whole thing. So this is
from all over the world. Now that we have a presence there, we know where people are coming from. They're coming from all over the world every single day. We think it is the second most visited tourist attraction next to the Liberty Bell.
Wow.
And
that thing's broken.
You're right. It is something that as Philadelphians, I'm a fourth generation Philadelphian, grew up in Northeast Philadelphia. It's something that sometimes we sort of eschew as Philadelphians.
Yeah.
We're like, Rocky cheesesteaks, we're so much more than that. But I really believe that there is a little bit of Rocky in all of us. What Sylvester Stallone did not just write a screenplay for a film. He wrote a myth. He wrote an allegory, right, for resilience and dedication and loyalty and passion. And, and we all sort of personify that as Philadelphians every day.
Do the Brits crap on Camelot and the story of King Arthur and Merlin, right? That was created.
Exactly.
To quote Rocky,
will you?
I think
yes, exactly.
That says it all right.
Said it all, yeah. Catherine, I was at the top of the Art Museum steps last fall, and I was looking down at where the visitor center is and where the statue is, and I was talking to Andrew about this before the interview. I was so impressed with people just coming out and being friendly and representing Philly really well, taking pictures, pointing people in the right direction, because there are so many tourists that come through that may have never been there before, may have never visited the Art Museum before, and it was just run really well, and it made me proud to be a Philadelphian to look down at the people who were working there, steering traffic in a really positive way. It's a great spot to visit in Philly.
That's so nice, Nick. Yeah, I mean, we're all ambassadors for the greatness of our city, and as Philadelphians, I feel like we can talk smack and crap on our city, right? But
absolutely, yeah.
But when it comes down to it, we're proud to be from here. We love it, and we want other people to experience our Philadelphia, our authentic Philadelphia. And there's no better way to do that than greeting people where they are, which is why we created that visitor center.
It's perfect.
We knew that millions of people were coming there, and we were like, we have to have a presence here to welcome them.
Yeah.
So the event is going to take place December 3rd through the 8th, and you got to have a ton of activities and things that people can participate in. You want to highlight a few of them?
Yeah, so we're going to do Rocky tours for the first time ever, right? So every day, several times a day, you can take a 90-minute tour. And you guys, if you know anything about the Rocky movie, you know that even though it looks like he's in like one neighborhood in those movies, he's not. He's all over the dang city, right? Like from Laurel Hill Cemetery down to the Italian Market, all the way up to Kensington. And we're going to take people all over the city on our flash buses. So that we're basically retrofitting the flash bus to become the Rocky tour bus in December.
I got to do that. I love
awesome.
that. We talked about how in his initial training run, he covers like 20 miles.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's Hollywood. But I mean, he runs by a soon to be completed Marshallu. All of that stuff is there. All of those great scenes. That shot when he's first on the steps and he turns around and looks at the skyline of the city. All that stuff. There's so many places you can go to.
Yeah, and some people try to do it on their own. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to curate this tour. We're going to narrate it for folks so that everybody can experience, how this film was shot basically. Then we have, Rocky and Adrian had their first date at an ice rink. So have you guys been to Penn's ice rink? It's like, looks like it was, like it's pretty brutalist, right? In terms of its architecture. University of Pennsylvania is partnering with us. We're going to take over the Penn ice rink. We're going to do a Rocky date night. Rocky.
If you're a guy, are you allowed to put on skates? Because Rocky walks around.
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, you are. And in fact, we're going to do Rocky. We're going to do speed dating skating. So speed dating.
Yeah. You only have a certain
skating,
yeah.
right?
That's great.
Yeah, and we're going to have food trucks and music and drinks and fun stuff like that. We're also going to do a Rocky and Adrian look-alike contest. So I'm feeling like a couple of you guys could enter.
I always get
the
Adrian
swag
thing
for you, so you can. I brought this really amazing replica jacket with a tiger.
That's the back of his Rocky II jacket.
For Preston and Steve, you each get one of them, and then I also brought you a replica robe.
No way.
Yeah, I did. This is for sale in the Rocky shop, right at the base of the Ben Franklin Parkway. And then, of course, I had to bring you a T-shirt with the skyline that says, right, this is our top seller T-shirt. Guys, we can't keep this stuff in the store.
Wow.
And this is the only bricks and mortar store in the country that sells Sly Stallone shop merchandise. It's a great partnership with Mr. Stallone and his company.
Catherine, if we want to, at the event, the Rocky lookalike thing, can I come as Paulie and get hammered and piss myself?
I mean, no.
Oh, okay.
But you can hang out outside like that. It's West Philly. You'll be fine.
This Rocky II jacket is so iconic.
Dude, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Can we get a Trans Am as well? Would that be?
I'll put the robe on.
You can BYOT. You can bring your own Trans Am. Totally.
I love it, and I love the fact. Also, we had John Appleton on the director as well, talking about the real guerrilla style filming that they had to do around here. That ice rink sequence was born of they didn't have any clearance, and so they literally had only a little bit of time to do it. So
yeah, when you think about this film on $1 million budget and what it has become internationally, it blows your mind. That said, we're partnering with the Philadelphia Film Society. We're doing the Rocky Movie Marathon. So over 3 days, you can see every Rocky movie. You can either buy a ticket for one movie, or you can buy a pass and just sit there all day long on Saturday and watch Rocky 1 all the way through Rocky Balboa at the Philadelphia Film Society on Chestnut Street.
I love all these creative things. Are you doing anything at a pet shop?
Well, we actually are partnering with the Philadelphia Kennel Club because the theme for the Philadelphia Dog Show this year, which is that show shown every year on Thanksgiving Day, right? That takes place in Oaks. The theme is rare dog breeds, and the Bull Mastiff, which Buckus is a rare dog breed. So we will have a Buckus Impupinator. I know.
What about Cuff and Link?
I said it. No, I mean we could look into turtles. We're working on the turtles, but we're going to have a Buckus there at what we're calling the Southpaw Yappy Hour at the Docks, which is at Cherry Street Pier, another film site from the movie, and just a fun happy hour. Bring your dogs, bring your pets, and meet Buckus.
Let me ask you, at the store, do you sell cauliflower ears for people to wear? Would that be great, Preston? Yeah,
we've got authentic fedoras. We've got this really cool necklace I'm wearing, which is a replica of Rocky's boxing glove. I mean, we have something at every price point, something for everyone, and great Philly merch too.
We used to have a line on the robot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
From Rocky
Pulsar.
2 or 3. From Rocky 4. 4. I'm sorry. Yeah. Somebody who
that Pulsations
got in touch with us, and it's still around.
And that's impressive, guys.
It was it was used in the Goldbergs. So because they went to Pulsations.
Amazing.
That's right.
And we helped broker that deal.
We helped get that going.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I think part of the appeal of Rocky all these years later is that it really is a beautiful love story. I mean, what Rocky, he just falls in love with Adrian, and the way that he goes about it, he's kind of a lug, but it's really remarkable, like that. It's a boxing movie, but it's really a love story.
It is a love story. I think it's certainly the love story between Rocky and Adrian. I think it's a love story for the sport of boxing, and I think it's a love homage for Philly, right?
City.
I mean, it really
time.
is. It exemplifies, so much of what we as Philadelphians, how we really feel about our city, in spite of all of its flaws, right? We know it has its challenges.
That's it.
But we will go all 10 rounds for Philadelphia.
That
right?
scene with that I'm sorry, Preston, you just realized you have your finger up, but that scene. and it'll make me cry. Where it's where he's first getting up to go to train, and it's right in front of City Hall, and it's on Broad Street, and
they're delivering the papers,
and there's the news truck, and it's cold, and you see him out there, and the city's just waking up. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you guys have ever been at a Flyers game, and they'll have the scene of Adrian in bed. She's in the hospital, and she's like, "I just want you to do one more thing." Win, and the crowd goes crazy. And they also have him chasing the chicken, and all that stuff. I mean, it's still. Listen, as deeply ingrained as it can be.
Do you guys know that Laurel Hill Cemetery has Adrian's grave from the film?
I read that.
No, they kept it.
Yeah,
and that's going to be on the tour. Wow. And it's literally an Adrian Balboa fake grave.
It's because I saw a picture.
People visit every day. They visit every day. They lay flowers there.
Did they make an actual tombstone? Because they were using like a
it's actually there. Yeah, it's wild.
Do they keep the chair up in the tree too? Because Rocky.
No, that's good.
Oh, they should do that.
They should do that.
Because that, by the way, Preston and I are on the same page. I think if you're going, Rocky, and Rocky 2 is certainly great, but I think Rocky Balboa is sensational.
I totally agree with you, Steve.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I think it's not the most well known.
Yeah.
But it is also funny to hear what people's favorite Rocky movie is.
Yeah.
And all different reasons.
But I mean, Rocky Balboa managed to take the thing where you have like Paulie, the regret that he has for the way he mistreated Adrian. All that stuff is there.
Yeah.
And Stallone's script is sensational. How many times do those clips get? You're better than that.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what else is really good? I watched not that long ago was Creed. The first movie came out, and they do this brilliant thing. Rocky's not fighting anymore, and spoiler alert, he has cancer in the movie, and they go through a training montage of him going through his treatment. I'm like, they got another way to fight. It is so brilliant. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So this. We are all over this.
Oh, thank you guys.
We are so excited for this, and I want to take that bus tour, Steve.
Let's do it.
Now we're gonna be doing our Camp Out for Hunger while this stuff is going on. I have a feeling that if you guys are doing this bus tour for Philly or for Rocky Week, that it's going to have to expand beyond that. Like this is going to have to become.
Yeah,
if
people like it. We would love to be able to offer it year round. That would be amazing.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then make this an annual thing.
Yeah.
This has to be codified properly because it means so much to the city.
Guys, I'm feeling like 26 is Rocky Con. I feel like it's time for
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're just building up to that.
Catherine, are some of these events, because I wasn't paying, I was thinking about the movie so much, I wasn't paying attention to everything you were saying. Are some of these events free or some of them pay?
Yeah, there are tickets that, we're trying to keep the ticket prices really affordable, but you can go to our website, phlvisitorcenter.com/RockyFest and get information about tickets. Different partners are selling tickets to the different events. We also have a Rocky University, which is a seminar that you can attend and get a certification as a certified Rocky expert.
Rocky, you got it all here.
So we have some really affordable events, and it's just going to be, a ton of fun and meeting other Rocky fans from all over the country.
Mural arts as well.
Mural arts, and guys, a Rocky hotel package with Visit Philly. And when you get
to stay in that house he lived in.
No, you stay in an awesome hotel. You book the Rocky hotel package, and you get your Rocky perks, free parking, and a voucher to spend in the Rocky shop.
Yeah, we're totally down with this.
Yes, excellent. All right, and the best, once again, it's PhillyVisitorCenter.com.
PHL, VisitorCenter.com.
PHL, all right, VisitorCenter.com/RockyFest, and that's where you'll get all the information you need.
And as the stuff is rolling out, please, remind us, keep us surprised, because we want to get the word out, because we know the fan base is, how many years have we been, every day we do something Stallone based, and I'm doing the impression, 500 times a morning. So, we want to make sure people know what's going on as it's going on.
Thank you, guys.
You got it. Our pleasure. Thank you for being here. She is the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Visitor Center, Catherine Ott Lovell, and Rocky Week is happening. We're going to take a break. When we get back, some bizarre file stories, and we have another shot at $1,000 with Good Money so make sure you stay close. We'll be right back.
Preston.
And that is correct, sir. Wow! Delaware County split off in 1789.
Interesting. After the great Battle of Chester Hill.
They were originally together, and therefore Casey gets 50 points in that particular one.
All right, so for Kathy, I'm going to go with... This is hard. I'll go with sports.
Of course.
For 100.
Sports for 100. All right,
So sweet.
Kathy, here's your question.
Yeah.
Who was Neshamony's starting quarterback in 1990 and current Penn State head coach?
I don't know. God, I know you're going to say it and I'm going to recognize it, but I don't know it.
Okay, so you don't have an answer, or
Let's
you
say a name.
throw a name out there?
Say your name. Say your name.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, although I think he's a representative.
No, that's incorrect. Casey, do you know who it is?
It's Franklin.
Yeah, James Franklin is the correct answer. So Kathy gets docked 100 points.
All right, I'm gonna try this, but I'm gonna go shopping for. What's the difference here?
You are at 970 right
You're
now.
up by
Casey's at
90.
880.
All right, I'm gonna do 50.
Okay. Keep in mind, these questions came from residents of Delaware County.
People who live there.
They want you to win.
Yeah.
But these are the only questions that I had to go off of, Casey. So no complaining, please.
Well, no. I've already done all my complaining for the day.
I'm sure there'll be no more complaining.
You've got more to go.
I got
This site, recently home to the Countryside Market in Swarthmore, or is it Swarthmore?
I say Swarthmore.
Swarthmore.
Uh-huh.
Was a convenience store in the 1980s. The convenience store had 3 names before becoming the Countryside Market. You just have to name one of those.
Soups? Or like supers?
Incorrect.
Ooh.
No.
Really?
It was either Eddie's, Albert's, or Evans.
Okay.
All right, Kathy, which former Philadelphia Eagle graduated from Pennsbury High School in Fairless Hills?
Is it Troy Vincent?
That's a good answer, and it's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1850, Delaware County's county seat moved to Media. Okay, Media is considered the county seat of Delaware. Where was it originally?
Chester.
He's right. Chester was originally the county seat. All right, what category and what's the wager, Case?
Kath, I just want you to do well. All right, so I'm going to give you a whole bunch of points. We're going to wager 100 points on history.
History. This person was the founder of the religious school Log College and later the pastorate of Neshamony Warwick Presbyterian Church.
Mr. Log.
Mr. Log.
Is that a real answer? I'm curious.
Yes.
Yes? No, it was William Tennant.
William Tennant.
Mother, I knew it was. You know what? And
Damn.
somebody sent me not that information, but somebody sent me information about Log College.
That somebody did you a disservice.
Yeah, they did.
All right, that was William Tennant, a well-known name in Bucks County. 1,010 for Kathy, 930 for Casey.
So 80,
it's an 80
points separates the two contenders.
Last question for Casey.
Oh my God! Last question.
Can we just keep going for a little?
Well,
Oh
I'm
wow.
just kidding.
Okay, so it's an 80-point difference. This is the last question. Is there a double jeopardy?
there's something else.
Okay. All right.
You look great today, Kath.
Go ahead, say the F word, Kathy.
I know.
We're trying. You want to say it so badly, we can dump it out.
The dulcet tones of Kathy Romano.
That's what Dennis hears around frisky time.
Damn it. All right, I'm gonna do entertainment.
Okay.
Entertainment.
For 10 points.
Wow, okay, see, and this is where the strategy comes into play. Casey?
Yeah.
What's the Delco Dance Club that featured a spaceship and a dancing robot MC?
Listen, it's only worth 10 points, Kathy. Pulsations.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, absolutely. What's the category and what's the wager?
We're going to go 70 points in history.
70 points in history. And I got to get to history.
Right, Nick?
Yeah, man.
I didn't.
You play Jeopardy.
Yeah, I didn't do well in my SATs, but.
You even know how to wager.
History. What Bucksco town was named after George Washington's famous crossing of the Delaware River to take Trenton by surprise in the Revolutionary War?
Washington Crossing.
She got it right. That's exactly correct. Yes.
I got pulsations. You get that. That's fair enough.
All right. So, what is the score here at the end of round 2?
Kathy with 1,080. Casey with 940.
I need the screen, please. For this, we're going to do something now. A few years ago, we had somebody call up on the phone, and we're going to do the same thing. This time, we are calling this, I don't know who's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
The category category of I don't know who's on the phone is local businesses. Local businesses. So write down your wager now. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Wagers are in, and we're playing I don't know who's on the phone. Local businesses, the category, and we have our caller on the line. Good morning. Can you hear me, sir?
Good morning. I can hear you.
All right. Would you please present your question for our contestants?
Good morning. My name is Bill. I'm vice president of a local company. We were established in South Philadelphia in 1891. We are headquartered in Malvern, Pennsylvania, and we have 11 locations in Delaware County and 7 in Bucks County. One of your show members currently endorses our company. What is the name of the company I work for?
Okay. Marissa just handed me a note that says it's over.
It is over.
And
that's not fair.
And I shook my head. And I said, no, it won't be because more bitching is going to happen.
No,
It is.
you know why
After
it's
we
not
get
over?
the answer.
Because tonight you're going to wake up screaming, and you'll be reliving it over and over again.
Okay, so do we ask for their answers first, or do I ask our caller on the line what the answer is?
I
we
think
go
what
to
you
their-
do is you go to the answers and then
first.
right.
Yeah.
And then I do the Alex Trebek. Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Okay, let's go, and then we'll have our caller on the line to hang on just a moment. So, Kathy, you were in the lead, and that means you get to go first, I believe, is how that works. So, Kathy, what is your answer?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, and that is incorrect. I'm sorry. What is your wager, please?
300 points.
300 points. And Nick, what does that total bring her to?
780 points for Kathy Romano.
Casey?
I really could have done a number on myself here, but I blame my brother if I get this wrong, because my brother's philosophy is go big or go home. Okay? My answer is Horizon.
Horizon. That is also incorrect. And your wager?
940 points.
Oh, my goodness. Let me go to our caller. Bill, can you tell these people what company you work for, please?
I work for Acme Markets.
The official supermarket of the Preston and Steve Show. Casey,
Kathy
wait for it.
wins!
Kathy
Kathy wins!
My God! Oh my freaking God!
Bucksco versus Delco. It was anybody's game to the very end.
I actually, at the last few moments, was sure you had it, Casey.
I did too.
I was sure, because you're also, it looked as if you wrote a short word.
I did. And you know what really stinks is he's the new president, so I don't know his name.
Well, that's why we chose him, because if it was somebody that you knew by the sound of their voice, they weren't going to be able to. They weren't going to be able to be
Let's focus
discerned.
on what's important. I won! Yes! Where do you want to go to dinner, Casey?
Honestly, I thought for sure.
They're hugging.
I thought
If I can have a moment, I prepared something I wanted to say.
Casey's written a statement.
You know, I came here this week, and I didn't know what to expect. Now, I've seen a lot of people hating me, and I didn't know what to feel about that, so I guess I didn't like you much then either. During this fight, I seen a lot of changing. The way yous felt about me and the way I felt about you. In here, there were two people killing each other. But I guess that's better than 20 million. What I'm trying to say here, if I can change and you can change, everybody can change. I just want to say, to my kid who should be at home cleaning, don't forget to scrub the toilets. I love you.
He's a champion anyway.
Not really. Here's the thing. What's great for you guys is because what I was thinking is if Casey won, then the whole competition would have been evened out, and we had to do it again. Now, I'm clearly
Now there's no
the
grudge
winner.
match. There's no grudge match.
2-0.
No rematch.
Ain't gonna be no
I
rematch.
win. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that I didn't disappoint my Bucks County residents and friends.
You honestly, you
Mom,
both
Dad, I love
played
you.
very well. Kathy, you played very well. You did. You and I mean, especially honestly in the trivia, you pulled some things out of the proverbial ass that I had no hope you would get, and you got it.
Thank you
So
very
amazing.
much. Oh my God, this was so fun. Thank you guys.
Of course it was fun.
This
No,
was
it
great.
sucked, I think, for
What a fair
everybody.
contest you guys pulled off.
Now watch us find out that Soups is actually the name of the place.
Then I would have 100 points and I'd still lose. By the way, Kathy, you mentioned Dunkin' Donuts. Did you know that there's 33 Dunkin' Donuts locations
Oh,
in
there's
Delaware
26 in Bucks County.
County? Yeah.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because you did the Wawa question last year.
Do you know how many swim clubs there are in Bucks County?
Listen, you know what? I want to know. I don't know if we're going to do this now or not, but some of the questions that we didn't go over, because there was something that I was sure you guys were going to answer, and I really put a lot of time studying it.
What was it?
I have several other ones, and we don't have time to do it now.
MMR.
For all of those now stuck between the Blue Route and Belmont on the Schuylkill Expressway, I know what you're going through.
We're so sorry.
I know what you're going through. Sorry about that. It's horrible.
It
All right,
is.
Let's do the B file, and then we'll have time for the one and only Good Money It. So here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we'll go through a few stories. I'm going to start with this one. Multiple suspects who used a chainsaw to rob a pharmacy were thought to have jumped off a bridge after being pursued by the police, leaving one of them dead. But a later update from officials indicates that no one jumped or died. But officers responded to a burglary. It was about 4:20 a.m. with a chainsaw, mind you, they used. The LAPD stated that an hour before the burglary call, one of the suspects had carjacked a vehicle with a person inside, and it was this vehicle that was used in the burglary. Now, listen to this. When officers arrived at the scene, I don't know what kind of car they stole.
Yes.
But they saw approximately 11 suspects enter the vehicle.
What were they, clowns?
And led them on to initiate a pursuit. The chase terminated in the area of Pier T in Long Beach, where all of the suspects fled from the vehicle. A total of 6 were caught and are in custody.
Was the carjacking executed with the chainsaw as well?
I don't know about that, but it's just there's a bunch of crazy in this story.
God, it's
including
insane.
11 people in one car. It is unclear how police came to believe the suspects had jumped off the bridge or that one had died, but it indeed was not the case.
And I wanted Nick's dad's voicemail that he left for you. We don't have it anymore.
You're looking for it?
Audio disappeared, man. Oh, man. Next message.
A New York man is facing numerous charges for allegedly stealing a police car during a drunk driving arrest. Police said the 37-year-old John Gibson had crashed his car.
Well, no one's using this car.
When officers arrived, they gave Gibson a field sobriety test, which he failed. He was then handcuffed and placed in the back of a police cruiser. While officers continued their investigation of the crash, Gibson managed to slip his handcuffs to the front, climbed into the front seat of the patrol car, and then he took off in it.
Driving with his hands cuffed.
Yep. Troopers and officers located the stolen car about 3 miles away. They found Gibson in a nearby cemetery and took him into custody.
He was visiting Adrian.
Gibson has been charged with felony counts of fourth-degree grand larceny, criminal possession of stolen property, unauthorized use of a vehicle. He was also charged with escape, resisting arrest, and driving while intoxicated. Now, to piggyback onto that story, police had a driver pulled over Sunday night in St. Paul, Minnesota, when a man suddenly jumped into the vehicle and stole it.
With them in it?
This is a different person pulled over, and I guess they were out of the car. Some guy sees it, he goes over, jumped in. So the incident began when an officer saw the driver of a Lincoln Navigator speeding and pulled the vehicle over. The officer suspected the driver was intoxicated and began a field sobriety test. A man was sitting on a nearby bus bench, just got into the driver's seat of the vehicle and took off. The officer ran to the vehicle and repeatedly ordered the suspect to stop, but he sped away. With the assistance of the woman that was driving the Navigator initially, police were able to track her phone and other electronic devices in the stolen vehicle via the Find My application. They found the woman's phone, which had apparently been thrown from the vehicle. They continued tracking the woman's AirPods and an Apple AirTag on her key ring, which showed the vehicle at a gas station. When officers arrived, the suspect drove off in the Navigator. Officers pursued the vehicle and took the suspect into custody at an airport hangar. The man showed signs of narcotic intoxication, and police obtained a search warrant for his blood. Results are pending at this point. Police determined the Navigator's driver was not intoxicated, by the way.
So you've had so many stories like this. Do you think the police are going to change the protocol when they exit their vehicle?
Maybe. So she was released. And by the way, a Navigator, 11 people could have fit in that.
Yes.
So maybe we need to put all these stories together. In China, a drunk man picked a fight with a python on his way home from a pub and lost in epic fashion.
Stop hissing at me.
The fire department had to intervene to save the man from the python's killer grip. Authorities said that he wasn't able to communicate how he ended up in its clutches as
almost had him.
He was too drunk. His pals said that he came across the 6.5-foot-long snake on his way home from their local pub. Feeling emboldened, the inebriated fella decided to tease the large python in front of his friends. However, the reptile got the better of him and held him in its death grip, forcing his friends to call the fire department. Firefighters arrived on the scene before the animal had squeezed the victim to death, fortunately.
Oh, my God.
They used
before the...
Yeah, before.
Okay.
We should have said a safe word. Look at this. We're looking at a picture of the dude.
They used catch poles to seize the snake and force it to loosen its grip. Footage shows the victim trying to move on the ground as the snake coils itself further around his body. Firefighters are then seen stuffing the captured reptile into a sack.
Call me.
And according to reports, the drunk man refused to be taken to the hospital for an examination and left the scene in the company of his buddies. They took the captured python to a secluded spot and released it into the wild the following day. Then we have time for one more, and then we will wrap it up. Okay, how about this one? An 81-year-old South Korean fashion model, Choi Soon-hwa, fell short of her bid to become the oldest Miss Universe contestant during Miss Universe Korea. The pageant was held in Seoul. Dressed in a beaded white gown, Choi competed against much younger contestants and even performed in a singing contest. Though she missed out on the crown, she won the Best Dressed award. Choi, who began modeling in her 70s after a career as a hospital care worker, was announced as a finalist alongside 31 others earlier this month. She said, "I want people to look at me and realize that you can live healthier and find joy in life when you find things you want to do and to challenge yourself."
Yeah, I was looking at pictures of her. She's a striking woman.
She's beautiful and definitely does not look 81.
No.
The competition saw changes this year, lifting the previous age limit of 28 to promote diversity. Organizers also removed the swimsuit contest and other restrictions to make the pageant more inclusive as well. So she went for it. She came close, but not quite. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, it is 10 o'clock on the nose.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
Here's the word. It's equal. EQUAL. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com via the MMR app, or you can text to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley, so make sure that you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it's brought to you by Horizon Services, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So again, the word is equal, EQUAL. Come and get it. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Steve on
Next week we can go through some of the questions because
we'll do a question purge.
I'm dying to know.
So one of the big things in Bucks County, and specifically Levittown, was the LPRA pools, and I thought for sure you were going to ask questions about those.
Nothing came up about that.
Yeah.
So.
And because we were both lifeguards, I could have sworn there was going to be. There were a couple of things where I'm like, all right, what do Kathy and I both have in common? Dunkin' Donuts was obviously the one, and I thought about Acme, but I wasn't sure how many Acmes there were in Bucks County.
Yeah.
So
I had to pick something that both counties had in common.
Oh, I know. And
I tried to see if there was maybe a famous person that was born in one county and went to school in another or lived in another, and I couldn't come up with anybody.
How about this one?
Okay.
William Penn founded two towns on either side of Philadelphia, and they call them new towns, okay? So there's a Newtown, Bucks County, and a Newtown, Delaware County.
Yeah.
Same question, different answers. So Newtown, Delaware County was founded in 1681, and then you guys were like 1684 or something like that.
Well, William Penn actually was born in Rutledge and opened up the first sweet roll shop in Croydon.
Yeah.
I did so much research. Meanwhile, we both were like, no, we're not doing anything.
Kathy, Marissa, there's a couple of pieces of paper underneath my.
I
computer.
did so much research on, and it didn't need to be because I knew you weren't going to stick to Levittown, even though that's where I grew up. But there's all of those sections. All of the sections have different street name or have the street names with the same letter of the section. So I memorized 3 street names for each section in case you asked me the same question.
Well, but then both of you were full of crap that you weren't studying.
Dude.
Listen, and it wasn't until
look at his study sheets.
It wasn't until last
It looks
night.
like his tax returns.
Steve, I did it last night laying in bed. My cousin Katie texted me and she goes, "If you're not studying, I'm going to be so angry." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm studying, I promise."
Yeah, so like shopping, I'm surprised you guys didn't ask me about the bazaar. I remembered because the bazaar's not there anymore, but I remember.
Casey, there was a question about the bazaar that was, what is the name of the store that used to sell rock T-shirts at the bazaar?
That might have been Comic Universe. I don't know.
No, it was
for
Rock
sure.
Tees.
Rock Tees, yeah.
So you wouldn't have gotten that one right.
And I want to thank Levittown Now because they did an article on, or they did an interview with me a while back, but he sent over like a fact sheet on Bucks County.
Really? Do you know what the population is in your county?
You know what? I didn't go there because I thought we kind of covered that yesterday.
Yeah.
What is it in Delaware County?
562,960.
I know there's 17,311 homes in Levittown.
Oh my God!
Ridley Creek State Park is 2,600 acres. There's 191 square miles in all of Delaware County, 184 of which is land.
Driftwood Water Adventures operates out of Tyler State Park and Falls Park.
Yeah, Strathaven High School is actually named after Thomas Leaper's hometown in Scotland. And by the way, I'm going to start a petition now because the Strathaven mascot is the Panthers, and because it's named after a town in Scotland, I feel like their mascot should be the Griffins.
Okay,
the Griffins,
fair enough.
right.
Start that petition.
Nick Murphy, also from Bucks County. Did you know that there was an East and West Levittown? I did not know that, and it is split by Edgeley Road. Yes.
Wow. What's the oldest library in Bucks County?
Oh, you know what? I think is it gone? It's gone because the library that's there now is new.
Do you realize you're providing questions for when we do this again in 30 years?
No, we're not doing it again. I win.
The first library, I think the oldest library in the country is in Delaware County, Casey.
If it is, then it's Darby Library because that's the oldest in the county. And then the longest tenured mayor in Delaware County, he's been mayor for 44 years, Frank Kelly in Collingdale.
Okay.
Shout out.
Bob Casey, Pat Toomey.
Yeah. Well, Bob Casey's for
Brian
both of us.
Fitzpatrick.
Do you know who your city councilman chairman is?
No, I didn't do councilman. I just
John
did the Senate and
McLean.
House of Representatives.
Bob Brady. That's
what else do I have?
The 7th congressional district is vacant right now.
Levittown's 22 square miles.
Felicity alum. Felicity.
Tonight on a powerful Felicity. Felicity shows up late for a chemistry class.
I'm sorry. I thought it was an 8.
That's to go to detention.
Go to detention. Felicity.
Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell. She, formerly of the long locks, who killed her career by cutting her hair, but has now grown her hair back and is doing great things with the American.
So Carrie Russell was Felicity.
Sound like it's Carrie Russell's history.
Presented by Rita that she grew her hair back, and it was wonderful. She plays a commie bitch who pretends she's one of us. Those commies.
In what?
In The Americans.
Oh, The Americans.
You don't watch that?
No,
She's a spy.
I don't watch that.
It's like that John Travolta, Kelly Preston movie.
Oh, yeah. You know, The Experts.
The Experts.
But she may join J.J. Abrams and Star Wars Episode 9.
We forget that it was J.J. Abrams who created and wrote a number of the
Felicity episodes.
I did forget that, yeah.
Yeah.
No word yet on whether she'll tackle a hero or a villain in the epic franchise. The movie begins shooting in London this month, by the way.
Unless we forget also that Carrie Russell won Mr. Skin's Best Butt Shot, I believe, in the Anatomy Awards.
Got a nice pooper.
No kidding. Casey says
got
she
a hell of a pooper. kind of butt you want to spend a weekend spelunking at, if you know what I'm saying.
And we are back from vacation.
We are.
So the.
Oh yeah, this is nice. Is good stuff.
Look, there's some soccer players in there from Thailand.
Some kids are going to help you out.
You guys all right?
Wait, I see light from the badge.
Oh, God.
We can do this.
Wow.
It's a new survival story, unlike any other.
Walk this way, kids. We go. Is it a stalagmite or a stalactite?
The tight or from the ceiling stalactite hang on top, and the mites are.
You know that?
Yeah, that's the old stalactite.
It's tight. It hangs on, and stalagmite might make it to the ceiling if it keeps growing.
And all of this is taking place in Felicity.
In Felicity's butt.
Okay, yeah.
Text says, driving my kids to daycare, my 2-year-old is calling my 1-year-old a commie bitch. Thanks. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Well, they're learning about a time in our history that was very important.
Yeah. Hey, I noticed a few things.
Oh, my God.
Yes! I did. I absolutely, positively.
He's back.
Yeah.
You know what he does. He notices things so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You're too busy sleeping 3 hours a day on your job.
Yes, it's true.
He's out there noticing.
Hey, you know what I noticed? I noticed that my penis looks a little bit bigger in the summertime.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And I think I know that's why is that? You tend to be trimmer in the summer, don't you?
No, actually, this is something that was on Reddit, and I just used me as an example. This is not true, but apparently there's something called a summer penis.
And the living is easy?
Or summer penis
makes me feel fine.
So on Reddit, one user asked if others experienced a, quote, bigger D in the summertime and smaller in winter.
Bigger D.
I'm paraphrasing.
Winter's coming. Winter's coming. Smaller D's for everyone.
Men said soaring temperatures cause their junk to appear larger. And when they're happy, so to speak, when they're at attention,
clap your nuts.
Apparently, it's better.
When you're happy and you know it, clap your nuts.
Squish, squish.
Ow.
Dr. Dudley Danoff.
Dr. Dudley Danoff does not exist.
Author of The Ultimate Guide to Male Sexual Health says that hot temperatures cause blood vessels to widen.
Yeah.
And you may swell a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm swelling right now.
Urologist Dr. Jamin Brambot.
Stop it.
This is fake.
There's not even, yeah.
Dudley Jamin.
Dudley Danoff.
And his nurse, Katrina Thunderrod.
This is urologist Dr. Now, I'm probably pronouncing this. It's probably Yamin, Jamin. I just said
Yamin.
like
You
Jamin
got
better.
yourself a big penis there, man.
Brambot, which is Brahmbhatt.
Maybe it's Jimin, and his real name is like Benjamin, but
he changes it
instead of going by Ben, he goes Jimin.
It's quite possible.
Well, Yamin Brahmbhatt says that men's penises always remain the same size, but adds that blood vessels near the surface may contract to maintain heat, and that hot weather may cause those blood vessels to fill to the max.
We're not talking about, obviously, we're not talking about a 1.5 foot increase. We're talking perhaps just a general. Now,
Just
however,
a general fullness.
when you lose weight, it does appear to be larger. Correct?
I would think so.
Stands to reason.
I would guess so, yeah.
So yeah, that's. But I mean, yes, in the engorging process, perhaps.
But also,
Bill loves all these words, by the way.
Don't you feel like your fruit hangs a little bit lower during the summer just because
it's sad?
Not necessarily that, but it's just it's warmer, so
I think so.
things
Right?
are looser.
For
Yeah.
proper child production, the baby batter must be cooler, right? That's why your testicles are the way they are in the body's configuration. They always say to you, loose and cooler. Well, is the you guys have kids?
I don't know. I didn't look that much into it.
You didn't chill them up.
Turn some Metallica 93.3 WMMR. It's everything that rocks. Certainly falls under that category. It is 12 minutes after 10 o'clock. Today is Wednesday. Secret text word. Normally we would have gotten a winner by now, but I forgot to do that earlier. So we'll give it away in a little while. We have something else that we're going to do now. So hang tight if you've collected the secret text word, because we're going to do the lesson question, and we will give away a $50 point card from our friends at Arnold's Family Fun Center in Oaks, PA. It's the big friggin' deal
By the way, you can get two $50 point cards for the price of one this week if you go to WMMR.com. But you can get one for free right now if you answer this question correctly. This will be a tough one. I'm not sure if you'll get this or not. It's when Dr. Mike was stopped by and gave us flu shots this morning. What kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have?
Yes, and he does.
215-263-WMMR. Like I said, it's kind of a tough one, but we'll see if you know it. What kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have? And you had to have heard it. Don't guess like chicken fingers or something like that, because that's not the answer. All right, 215-263-WMMR. While you're calling in, we'll do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, brought to you by nobody but Steve Morrison. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, 37-year-old Kristen Cavallari saying her split with 24-year-old Mark Estes was because of the age difference. Cavallari says she had hoped he would eventually catch up to her, but she kept aging too.
Yeah.
Britney Spears still attempting to explain how she almost set herself on fire while trying to use her gas fireplace. Britney says her biggest mistake was listening to her toaster.
Oh, my God.
And finally, fashion designer Christian Siriano telling Andy Cohen why he refuses to dress any Real Housewives for events or red carpets. Siriano says his designs are for elegant women and not walking jerky. Wow.
All righty, let's see if you know the answer to this question. We had Dr. Mike in earlier, and he was giving us all flu shots. And we realized that Dr. Mike has a specific kind of doctor fingers. What was the reference? 215-263-WMMR. What kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have? And we will go to, let's go to Jim, see if we can get the answer. Hi, Jim. Good morning.
Good morning to see you.
Good morning, sir. All right, so what kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have?
Dr. Sausage Fingers.
No. I don't think we mentioned sausage fingers, did we?
We were thinking it.
Okay, but that's not it. No.
Dr. Sausage Fingers.
That's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Let's go to Debbie, see if Debbie knows. Hi, Debbie. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Debbie, what kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have?
Proctologist fingers.
No, we did talk about him doing proctology exams, but it's not the word we were looking for. Let's go to, I told you this was a hard one.
Yeah.
We'll go to Mark next. Hey, Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Mark, what kind of doctor fingers does Dr. Mike have?
Perfect fingers.
I tell you what, I think it's close enough.
It's our best bet.
Because it was proper doctor fingers.
Yeah.
So we will accept perfect doctor fingers. Yes. Hang on just a second, Mark. We are going to give you a $50 point card to Arnold's Family Fun Center in Oaks, PA. Arnold's.
I got to get back to Arnold's.
Is this week's big friggin' deal. You can get two of 50-point cards. $50 point cards for the price of one, and enjoy go-karts, mini golf, bowling, and more action-packed excitement at Arnold's. You can get this exclusive offer while supplies last at WMMR.com/deals. Yeah, Steve, it's gotten bigger and better since the last time you've been there.
They added this.
Sorry, that was the winning music you were supposed to use.
I'm sorry.
I scared you, didn't I?
They added this Americana Museum. Are you familiar with this?
I have known about that for a long. It's been there for a long time. It's actually not technically part of Arnold's, but yeah, it's just all this unbelievable memorabilia.
Yeah,
from it's really big stuff. It's hard to explain.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. They've got all kinds of stuff there at Arnold's. So you can get that half price deal at WMMR.com with Arnold's. WMMR.com/deals. All right, let's do music news now.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. Couple things to mention this morning. We'll start with the fact that Bush is celebrating the 30th anniversary of their debut album, 16 Stone, with a special reissue and a North American tour. Released in 1994, 16 Stone was a breakthrough success for the British rock band and sold over 6 million copies in the U.S. alone. The deluxe edition of the album, set to be released on December 6, 2024, will include remastered tracks, exclusive bonus content, and rare photos from the era, and 6 different limited edition colored pressings will be available.
Maybe I've forgotten, but what is the relevance of that particular weight?
That's a good question. So a stone is about 18 pounds.
Right.
So if you added it up, that's a good question, Steve. I'm not really sure what 16 stone or what that weight would be referencing.
Maybe his dong?
Nickel, dig around a little bit. If he has a 16 stone dong, I wouldn't doubt it. It's Gavin Ross.
That's album worthy.
Pretty badass. So Nick will look that up and see if we can find that out. Fish has announced its return to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, for a 4-night New Year's Eve run, kicking off on December 28th and concluding on New Year's Eve.
You going, Case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ringing in the new year with Fish at MSG is something of an annual tradition now, and tickets are sure to go quickly. A ticket request period ends on Monday, and then the rest go on sale to the general public on October 11th. And they'll only take a little time off after ringing in 2025 as Fish set to head back to Mexico for the 8th annual Fish Riviera Maya from January 29th through February 1st.
So what's the deal? Are you going to get a hotel room, or are you going to go in and come back?
No, so we're going to do a hotel room. I go with my buddy Jeff. Usually, in years past, I just take a train up, and then I would always leave a little bit early to catch the train back because I didn't want to leave with 30,000 wooks, you know? Yeah. And that's what they call Fish concert goers, or wooks. But so last year
because of the Wookiees.
Yeah, I actually don't even know why. But yeah, so we'll do a hotel, make a day of it. And yeah, so usually we go on the 29th. We don't like to do opening night. I'm not going to do New Year's Eve. And the 29th, I think this year is on a Sunday. And they say never miss a Sunday show.
Okay, yeah. And then you're with Jeff, so you obviously have to pick a hotel that allows you to put up your Howie Long posters.
What's special about Sunday shows?
They just dial in, man. Like, it's so not only a Sunday show, but like they're so dialed in at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
They know every single nook and cranny, and they can squeeze as much sound out as possible.
You know, that's interesting. They say that about Dave Matthews Band, too. Never miss a Sunday show. And I wonder if it's like a jam band kind of a thing. Like they sort of let it build over the weekend if they're going to do 2 or 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
But that's it's cool to hear that about Fish as well.
Huh. All right, Nick, did you find out anything about 16 Stone?
I found that it was named in honor of Gavin's stepfather and the band's guitarist Nigel, but I don't know.
Maybe his father had a large hog.
Well, they both died around the time that the album was recorded, but I don't get the connection to those guys.
Did they weigh? Did they both weigh?
224 pounds total?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, we may never know.
Yeah,
But,
cryptic.
All right, a couple of clips that Steve sent over with the band Weezer. They were on CBS this morning.
Yep.
Do we have those, Case?
Yes, we do.
All right, this is Rivers talking about the initial thoughts on their Blue album. Here we go.
I think I had 2 stories in my head. One was, we're going to sell 100 copies and that's it. I'm going to have to go back and work at Domino's or whatever. But the other one was like, man, this album feels so powerful, so moving and special to me. I think we're going to find a big audience, and this is going to be an important record.
Nice, and it certainly was. And there's a clip about how they came across their name. I always thought Weezer came from Little Rascals. There's a character named Weezer, so I don't know if it's true or not, but here's the clip.
I think he liked that show Little Rascals, and there was a character, Weezer, on there.
We sure split down the whale. Did.
Recently, I asked him, like,
Well.
Why did you name me after him? And he said, because he was the cool one.
Wait a minute. So the band is named Weezer, but why would he name? I don't get that.
Yeah, maybe that was a nickname that he incorporated.
Maybe it was.
I don't know that leap because it left that question for me as well. But that's where I knew Weezer from even prior to hearing that anecdote.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Excellent.
And would you say Weezer was the cool rascal?
No, Weezer was the super duper young one.
Yeah,
he was a little bitty kid. He was kind of like a brush off character, which is interesting. All righty, that's what I have in music news for you this morning. So we have a secret text word, and we need a number caller. So we're going to take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. If you happen to know the secret text word, we got a very cool prize on this end for you. We'll get a random texter and announce that when we return as well. And we'll be wrapping up our program. Jackie Bam Bam will be in. Stay put. We'll return shortly.
Preston and Steve.
Got it on?
But it is sophisticated.
Spraying with some CO2?
It is sophisticated equipment that is meant for the purposes of of reproduction, yes. And therefore, it maintains to a certain temperature so that your equipment
Your
works
McDLT.
properly. And, you're cool on the cool side and hot on the hot.
Anyway, we'll move on to something else. I just liked it because the headline was "Heat Waves Lead to Summer Penis."
Oh yeah.
From the noticer.
Thank you.
Makes me feel fine. Blowing into jasmine across my sack.
Love that song. Can't help it.
I did notice something else.
More from the noticer. He notices so you don't have to.
I noticed
across an empty field. Down the dark alley.
I do notice that I will use digital assistants from time to time. The two that I use are
your fingers.
No,
and your toes.
Not those digital.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Meaning Siri and Alexa. Those are the two that I use from time to time. Now,
Okay.
Alexa I mainly use for like a timer when I'm cooking or music to listen to real quick or something like that.
In your kitchen, do you have the show, the Alexa show? Which has the screen on it?
Oh. No.
It's actually very cool, especially if you're doing recipes or things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there was a new study that finds which is the smartest of them all and in what order. This is Loop Ventures. They did a study that had researchers ask the 4 digital assistants 800 questions, and they found all assistants were great at understanding the questions. And they have determined who actually answered the most questions.
I have them all, or have had them all. This sounds like I'm bragging about sexual conquest. But yeah, so go through this. I'm curious to see if it lines up with what I experienced.
So they found that the smartest of them all is Google Assistant.
Okay, so that's what I learned, is that the ability to answer questions and questions contextually went to Google.
I can't stand when I ask Siri a question and she just gives me a bunch of websites to go to. I'm like, dude, just give me.
Do not like
answer.
that. However, though, Google Assistant will most often default to Wikipedia.
There are obviously silly, ridiculous things that you don't need it for, but you use it for anyway.
I still do, yeah.
What do you think for you is the most practical purpose for using any of these?
Well, honestly, for when I'm sitting, for example, if I'm sitting and I'm setting up something for the media, you know, I'm watching TV or whatever, and I'm looking down at something, or I need the lights on, or turning lights on and off.
Okay.
Playing music, playing
I think that's
the radio.
What I would use it for.
Playing. I walk into a room. I constantly use it for weather. I constantly use it. I'll get a quick news update.
Yep.
So I'm interfacing it with that. And if you look at if you find out on your app on your phone, it'll tell you your last 70 requests, and mine are always sort of the same thing.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, it records everything, so you can find out every single request that you've asked.
I am using them all the time throughout the day.
But you know what? Like, you're busy, Steve. I know somebody, Nick, who can probably come over to your place, who I think is in between gigs right now. Gary Lauer is not doing anything right now. His house is closed.
You know what? Honestly, you don't even need an echo. Just have Gary hands.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot out there.
Just have your own Gary.
I'll turn it on for you. Lights on.
All right.
Hey, Gary, lights on.
All right, 1 second. There you go. Gary, should I wear a sweater outside? I'll be right back. It's pretty chilly. Lauer.
Yeah,
that's what it would be.
Yeah.
Hey, Lauer.
Yeah, because Gary would be too common.
Hey, Lauer, play Allman Brothers. Lauer, switch to Skinnerd.
Hey, Lauer.
Yes. Switch to Killers. Somebody told me.
All right.
Hey, Lauer, play MMR.
Well, don't you have to kind of have like a bing bong prompt?
Yeah.
You know.
Hey,
Lauer.
Working.
Play Summer Breeze by Seals and Croft.
Summer Breeze. Makes me feel fine.
So Lantern Entertainment and the Weinstein Company have come to terms on two major sticking points in their deal, a price and a close date. So they agreed on a final purchase of $21 million and expect to close on July 13th. A bankruptcy court hearing is scheduled for July 11th, and Lantern also agreed to make numerous payments to creditors to avoid a lengthy court battle.
All right, so and they're obviously going to not use the name Weinstein, right?
Oh, no, yeah, they're not. I don't think they're going to do that.
Charles Manson Productions.
So they're going to.
They figure it has a better reputation.
Hell yes. So they're getting closer to.
And then you can have Manson instead of the MGM Lion.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Just his face in that circle logo.
Right.
I love it.
This is one of these meetings in with the town where people can get up and speak their mind. And this young man got up and he had a take on legalizing prostitution.
So I propose this. The city allows for licensed masseurs to give genital massages if the masseur and the client both agree to it. We let someone get naked and have every other part of their body touched and rubbed by a massage therapist. Hell, we let proctologists spend their day men and sticking things. So if someone wants to yank a guy's crank, I say let him.
Oh my God.
That really is as inspiring as FDR's speech on December 8th, 1941.
I love the last part of that. Hang on.
So if someone wants to yank a guy's crank, I say let him.
I say
And so I say to you, if someone wants to yank a man's crank, I say let them do it.
Okay.
And so by this time,
legit?
well,
maybe.
You know what? I don't care. But he was definitely in front of this group. He was prepared. He seemed, and then he goes on. It's not just enough to state that's your intent or what you'd like to see happen. Yeah. You have to provide.
You got to back it up.
Examples.
Yeah, some context.
Some context to it. Yes.
Here's clip 2.
Picture this: a big old sweaty fat guy would get with your hand actually be that much worse than giving him a full body massage, getting up in there under the folds.
93.3 WMMR, great song, Hell You Call a Dream. It is 10:30 on this Wednesday morning of the Preston and Steve Show. Getting ready to wrap up our program, but we have a few things to take care of business-wise before we do any of that. So before I go through all the thank yous and whatnot, we were looking to give away our secret text word prize. It is Regina that is caller number 12, so we're going to go to her. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning.
All right, Regina, if you know our secret text word, you win the prize. What is it, please?
It is ghoul.
Ghoul. Very good, Regina. Hang on the line. You just got yourself a 4-pack of GA tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House on Main Street in Manioc. And it features live scare actors, production quality sets, animatronics, and special effects. Plus, you can learn more about the serial killer Victor Kane's secrets in Manioc. Tickets and information at LincolnMillHaunt.com. Our random texter is Christine Hayes, who is from Morton, Pennsylvania. So congratulations, Christine. You get that 4-pack of tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House in Manioc as well. Let me see. Now we have Jackie Bam Bam, who is in our studio. How are you doing, brother?
The doctor is in.
Yes.
The other doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be the second doctor we've had here today. Dr. Mike was by earlier this morning. So you know what? I got to thank him. So thanks to Dr. Mike. Being on the show today. We got our flu shots. Make sure that you get yours as well. Thank you to Sean Cannon and his wife, Michelle. Sean is from Cobra Kai and Bold and the Beautiful and a bunch of other things. He played Mike Barnes. Is so funny, Steve, when he's introduced into the series. Ralph Macchio just goes, Mike effing Barnes. And it's just classic, especially hearing the Karate Kid dropping F-bombs is hilarious. So he was great. He and his wife have a book out called Way of the Cobra Couples. And it's kind of an assistance to marriage. Pretty cool couple as they were on this morning. And speaking of cool, Catherine Ott Lovell, the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Visitor Center, gave us all the details about Rocky Fest 2024, December 3rd through the 8th. It's going to be cool.
Everything sounds terrific. We are so in on this, and we need to be as big a part of this as we can be.
If you want to find out information, I'm sure we'll post it on PrestonandSteve.com, and also you can find it at phlvisitorcenter.com/RockyFest. Jackie, we need to, well, you know what? Hang on one second.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go to you and get the letter of the day, there's one more call I need to take. and it is from Ethan. Ethan, are you there?
I am here.
Ethan, you have something to declare to the world, please?
I just won $1,000.
Not only does Ethan have a deep, rich, resonant voice, but he's also got $1,000 now.
Which one's better?
I know. Ethan, which one's better?
I don't know. I get compliment on the voice all the time.
All right.
There you go.
Well, now you can hand him a $100 bill.
Yeah,
a crisp
say,
$100.
shut up.
Yeah, thank you. Shut up, by the way. Where are you from, Ethan?
Parksburg, Pennsylvania.
Excellent.
Outside Chester County.
Excellent, brother. Well, we appreciate you listening to MMR. We are going to give you this $1,000 prize. You enjoy it, my friend, okay?
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Ethan, $1,000 winner. Next chance coming up with Jackie at noon, so he will have that. So, now we can get the letter of the day. You ready for that, brother?
I am so ready.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
The letter V, as in voluptuous. Voluptuous. Ooh.
Wow. Woo! All right, voluptuous. We
batted it out of the park.
We have a suite for 20 people, 4 parking passes, and a $1,000 catering credit for Nitro Circus November 24th at Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton. Experience the ultimate celebration of American spirit, Nitro Circus, featuring freestyle motocross, BMX, big air, and wild competitions that will defy gravity. You can visit nitrocircus.com for tickets and information. Wow. What a word.
Voluptuous.
It's a hell of a word.
Yeah.
I'm so
Can't believe I spit it out.
I know. All right. What else are you spitting out today? What's going on, man?
All right, let me turn my voice on here and tell you. Once again, you got your cash contest keyword, like you said, at noon. Workforce Blocks. Pierre gives us Mike Rutherford of Genesis blowing out 74 candles on his rock and roll birthday cake. So we'll play some Genesis, some Mike and the Mechanics. We're celebrating Muse's second Law album, released today in 2012. And today's the 7th anniversary of the passing of Tom Petty. So we'll honor his life and legacy in the prize coffin, Dirty Honey tickets, and we'll get you ready for Jelly Roll with a concert warm-up.
All righty. I want to thank our sponsors. The President Steve Show brought to you today by Duncan. President Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also by Acme Markets, the official supermarket of Philadelphia Eagles, and Wilmington University. Find your education home at Wilmington University, wilmu.edu. Tomorrow's a bit of a question mark. I am assigned jury duty tomorrow. But I may not have to go. I won't know until 4 o'clock today.
4 o'clock, we'll find out.
We'll find out if they're overfilled and do not need me or not. But I may or may not be in. So the show is going to be who knows what.
It'll be fluid. We'll hold down the fort. We'll do what we do.
So that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve.
Mm-hmm.